For EP, climbing walls and handholds is our business, but that's really not why we're here. We're here to enrich people's lives and introduce climbing to the world. We know that once somebody gets an opportunity to go indoors and climb on a climbing wall, that they're going to be hooked and they're going to be a climber for life.
Hello and welcome to Innsbruck, the capital city of the federal state of Tyrol here in Austria. Today is finals day. We get ready for our semi-finals after an exciting round of qualies yesterday. We have 21 male athletes out of the 81 that were here to compete going forward into the semi-finals, and 20 as normal with the women from the 70 that came together to compete here as well. Some excitement to report from yesterday. We saw James Kisei, Jeremy Bonda and Sakura Hori, all athletes who have made finals this year, fail to make the semi-final stage here in Innsbruck. In the women's as well, Mina Markovic and Melanie Sandoz failing to make it through, just proving how hard it is sometimes to try and make it through into those final stages. Now last year it was all about the double German win. We've already seen a double German win here again this year at the very start of the season. This year, will Kilian be able to pull it back, or will Jan be able to hold on to his title? And the same for Anna Stor up against Jura.
Well, here we are at the venue. The crowd is starting to build. Time now for me to introduce my co-car here for the entire day, and that is Jonathan Partridge. John, how are you?
Yeah, good day, Dan. Thanks for having me again.
Psyched?
Very psyched, yeah. Looks like a good time.
Got time then for us to now have a little chat, a catch up with Riley, our event organizer here. Here's what he had to say to us yesterday.
So hi, I'm Riley Scherer from Austria. I'm the chief organizer of this World Cup competition.
Riley, talk to us about climbing in Innsbruck. It has a reputation for producing a lot of very, very high caliber climbers. Why do you think that is?
It's about the history of climbing in Innsbruck. You know Hermann Buhl, 400 years ago. And here in Innsbruck, the sport climbing scene is, we created it about 25 years ago. We started creating it. A lot of volunteers, a lot of powerful people within the politics, the schools and in the federation. They try to develop this atmosphere and also this scene of the sport climbers.
Do you think that that's what goes towards making this comp such a special competition every year? Is that, do you think that's part of the reason it's so loved as a venue?
When we started to do competitions here in the town, it was about 11 years ago, we have seen international competitions and national competitions, and a friend of mine, Andy, he said, no, we have to do something better. So just create, not the rock master, but the block master. And that was the start for all this development. And Andy is always he wants to improve from year to year, and I think we improve every year.
There's definite evidence of that this year. We saw last year the final 5 of the qualifications because of the weather. We had the problem. This year you put it round to the side. Are there any other improvements that you've made this year that you're proud of as an event-setting team?
The improvements, they are getting smaller but more intense, but for our time. Because it's little things, because of television, where to put the cameras, how to work together with whom, to make it more popular. The event area, it's probably the same, but it's the things around, they cost a lot of energy.
What about some of the youth programs that you have here in Austria as a whole? How do they go towards building such a strong team?
It's what I said, I'm working within the sport climbing since 25 years. And it's about in the 90s, we started to put the climbing in the schools, to work together with the federations, to make it popular also to the politics. And I think this grows up. But to be honest, it's always about 3 up to 4 to 5 people that are really motivated to do this. If they don't work anymore, I think everything will collapse. And these are all guys, they are working voluntarily without getting paid. It's much more energy. If you get paid, it's just you have to have the money. If you're not, you stop working.
It's passion.
Yes, it's passion for sure.
Do Do you think that has something to do with the high caliber climbers you've got that are so well received on the World Cup circuit? For example, people like Anna and Killian. Do you think that inspires the youth here?
For sure, it's always good to have good idols. If you don't have them, maybe it would have happened in another direction. But yeah, we are lucky like this. When we went to the competitions the first years, we were nobody, really nobody. And it started in the 90s when we got to Grenoble to the small competitions, where David, he was 6 years, our team was the youngest and won the competition. I think this was the powerful start. And then, because of this success, we got the climbing gym. It got more powerful. Now we're getting a new one, much bigger one. So maybe, yeah, it's all connected.
Climbing in Innsbruck and in Austria as a whole is very well received, and as a sport it seems to have grown very quickly and very well here. What do you think the future is for Innsbruck and for climbing in Austria?
I don't know. I hope it will. We can keep the level. If we can keep the level, I'm really happy, because we are on a really top level that maybe we just can fall. I don't know. I'm happy if we can keep this level.
So it's hoping that you haven't already peaked.
Yeah. No, I don't hope so. But it's going well. What can we have more?
Randy, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, a lot of exciting blocks yesterday in the qualies. John, you climbed on them. How were they?
I think it was a tale of two halves yesterday. There was a really fun side and a not so fun side to climb on. But the route setters, they've got the hardest job. The field is so tight these days. It's really hard to set boulders that challenge everybody equally. So they put on a good show yesterday, and hopefully we'll have the same again today.
Well, to talk about how it's going to be today, we yesterday had a brief chat with our chief route setter here. So let's have a listen to what he had to say.
Hi, I'm Marc Davier from Annecy, near Chamonix, and I am chef route setter in Innsbruck. Welcome and enjoy. It's possible for me to speak about the semi-finals, and for the women, the first boulder is a skateboarder, like in Gildenwald last week. With Manu Hassler, the chef route setter. And I think it's not easy to start the circuit for the girls. And it's not easy to flash it. For the second boulder is a powerful boulder, more classical. And I think for the strongest girl, it's not a real problem to do this one. After, the next one is a compression on very big, powerful problem. Maybe possible we make some change now after the qualification, because the girls are very, very strong this year, and it's very difficult to know the first, the second girls. The level is very hard to know. Yeah, no, it's not easy for us, because we have 4 or 5 girls very, very strong.
You have to split them.
Yeah. And after, for the last movement, for the last boulder, we have a problem in a overhang, in a steep overhang, with a jump with a foot. And we need body tension and coordination to do the movements. After the end, it's more classical with little crimps. And I think we need to do a lot of boulder to go in finals. After, for the men, the first boulder is a little bit strange for the start, because you start directly in the roof, and after you go for a jump after a mantle, and like for the girls, not easy to start this semi-final for the men. The second boulder it's difficult to read. This is in a pro with more pyramids, and not easy to read the solution, to find the solution. And it could do the difference for the strongest guy. Maybe it's possible. The next boulder for the guys is very, very special. And it's not a slab. It's not a overhang. It's difficult to say what is it exactly. Between the slab and the overhang. Yeah. And we must change your feet in the same holes, and it's very difficult because we must do the movement very quickly, and difficult to feel the solution. And the last boulder is a classical boulder for the best climber, and for the strongman, I think it's not very, very hard.
So it's looking like a tough set of blocks here at the semi-finals. Let's have a look at who is going to be competing here at the semis and who's going to be... As you can see, the crowd starting to build now as well, starting to fill up the arena here. True to form as last year, we had a packed crowd for the finals as well. So here they are. Here are our male semi-finalists, our 21 male athletes. Some interesting names here, names that we're pretty much used to seeing before, but the first one, a nice surprise here, Adam Ondra making it through, and also Thomas Farrell for Australia. Unfortunate for James Cassay yesterday, but Tom's here and he's made it through. We've got Jonas Baumann and Jan Hoyer there for Germany as well. Tito's in as well, Calerion, and also Jorg there on the first page also. So 21 male athletes. Going on to the second page then. Here we are. Gabri making it through, making a good start to the season this year in 2014. On to Domen Skofic. A little bit of a mixed start for him, but he is predominantly a lead climber. Kilian Fischuber here as well, here to take back the title if possible, away from Jan. And also Fuji Kokoro, who's had a very good start to the season. Sean McCall, a little bit of a mix, tough time last week in Grindelwald, but he's here now in the semi-finals. And Guillaume Gleramonde, top of the pile here after his performance yesterday in the qualifying rounds. Also Dimitri Sharafutin top of his group as well. The overall best score from yesterday was Guillaume with 5 tops in 6, 5 bonuses in 5. Dimitri did manage to make all of the tops yesterday, but he did it in quite a few attempts, but he was top of his own group. Over onto the women's then to have a brief look now also, who our 20 female athletes are going to be in a few moments emerging onto the mats here. Hannah Midbo making it first of all, bottom of the pile, but first out for us today. Anna Gallium over there as well. Yulia Abramchuk, 2 athletes for Russia. Mia Nonaka also had a very good start. She was 8th just recently, just missing out on a spot in the finals. Monica Recci here. Aya Noe, who actually made finals here last year. She's possibly one to keep an eye on. Remember that you do have that carrying forward idea of, if I've done it before, maybe I can do it again. And of course, Yulia Verm at the bottom there, also for Germany. Fanny Gibert of France, top of the next page. Mina Leslie Wojastik making it through. Marine Thevenet as well, made it into the finals at the very first comp of the year this year. Katarina Posch, who is predominantly again a leader athlete, but has made it through here into the bouldering. She does mix sometimes as well. Alex Puccio here also, who missed out on finals last year, as did Shauna Coxey here in Innsbruck. So they're on a bit of a vengeance mission this year. And Akio Noguchi, and of course, as always, Anna Storr right at the very top of the pile after her performance yesterday. Very impressive putting her through here. She was the only one with a perfect run yesterday. 5 tops in 5 flashes, taking it through to the bottom, the last person to emerge in the semi-finals, but the top in the rankings. And here we are with our very first athletes then to emerge. Adam Ondra coming out. Nice to see him back in the field, as we do have 21 male athletes and 20 female athletes. It's looking like it's going to be Adam first out on his own with the entire stage to himself. So looking at this M1 then, John, that we've had a look at some of these blocks earlier on this morning. This is an interesting one. What are you thinking of this?
Yeah, really interesting start. You're going to see Adam here just palming up straight into the volume, and that's the starting position. So from here, he's got, as you can see, going for the double dyno straight outwards. Really hard to hold the swing. I went up and had a look at the boulders earlier, and yeah, it looks like getting onto the first move is going to be really tricky. And then from there, number of good positive crimps a bit further up.
So a very interesting starting position here. Now, I do know that they were starting to move away from the box areas this year, weren't they, due to the tops. So you have to have control of a bonus and control of a top now. Yeah. So they have moved away from using box tape, but for a start hold, not so much of a problem. We just know that you've got to get your two hands up into the roof before moving up to what Adam is now currently in with a knee bar, cheeky little knee bar.
Yep. Tricky sequence now to get out of it. We actually thought the knee bar might go the other way, so he's got his knee pointing that way because he's got to go all the way out to the right hand side to grab that vertical crimp you can see. So we actually thought he might want his other leg in, knee barring the opposite direction. So it'd be interesting to see if he manages to do it that way. As you can see, Adam's quite a bendy individual, so yeah, I'm sure he'll be able to do it.
Interesting way of putting it. You can see there on the pyramid as well on the top, the black mark that he hasn't quite spotted yet, which is suggestive of the fact that you would put a foot there instead.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the clues we saw right at the start, and it's hard to know whether that's required further on in the problem or whether it's for that move going out right. But yeah, certainly a good clue that I'm sure a man of Adam caliber will have picked up on. Great to see him back in the comps though. He's obviously been missing from the season so far, and you know, he's an incredibly strong climber and seen everything before, so I'm sure he'll be making quick work of this once he figures it out.
Well, we did see him last year at the lead category of season in Valence, remember, as well, and did very, very well there. The first time that I've actually met Adam Ondra was at Valence last year. Very nice chap, and said then that he was going to be committing to the full IFSC season, so we're looking forward to seeing him in lead later on in the year, but great to see him at essentially for him, a warm-up event such as this. There you are.
There we go.
He has spotted it, switching the knee bar onto the other side now.
Yeah,
much easier to get up onto that right, and there's the bonus, so
exactly.
Much easier transition there for him.
Looks like an awkward move coming through to his pocket. He's going to have a hard match now at the top, but figured it out, and he's obviously a very fit guy from all the route climbing, so he'll be able to hang in there and sort himself out.
It's not a very forgiving pocket either.
No, quite a slopey pocket inside, but good job there for Adam. He's got the top and obviously got the bonus on his first go, so yeah, you know, he'll be pretty happy with that.
Still with time to spare there as well. As you can see, the crowd is really starting to pick up now also. So out of the blocks that we've seen and that we've had a brief look at this morning in front, which are the ones that you think are going to be the main tricksy ones for both men and for the women here?
Well, we've just seen Adam there with the knee bar finding his way through that. It'd be interesting to see if all the other guys figure that way out. Adam's obviously a very strong route climber, so he's used to reading things like that. I picked up a couple of the men's problems. There's one a bit later on, I think it's M3, where it looks like quite a difficult start and then pressing up into a volume. So again, when the more technical footwork comes out, it can be quite hard to read that. So that could be quite an interesting one for the guys. But it looks like the women have got quite a strong set of boulders, quite basic. We can see there F2 just flashing up on the screen. That in particular looks really difficult. Negotiating that big yellow volume on some not so good crimps, so it'd be good to see some of the stronger girls on that. I know Alex Puccio is in her element on those on the steeper ground, so I'm sure she'll make quick work of it. But yeah, I think we've got a real mixed bag of problems. You know, the route setters, they try to challenge every aspect that us climbers have, and yeah, they take real pride in their work.
That was definitely one of the things that Mark Daviot was saying to us yesterday, that he wanted to create a nice big mix of blocks on them, keep the differences in styles applying to these athletes, to the fact that he's trying to basically wear them out before the finals.
Yeah, I think yesterday qualification boulders, it was obvious that they had a huge field and they were quite conscious of everybody being at a similar ability, so the easiest way to separate that group is generally finding some quite technical slabs that people might misread, and similarly some jumps that take lots of attempts, and that's the easiest way to get a split normally.
Well, next up then, our next two to come out onto the field here, Thomas Farrell for Australia. Great to see another Aussie through to the semi-finals. We did see him last year very briefly. I remember him being at Kitzbühel last year as well, making a push for having a go at the IFSC Boulder year. It's nice to see a contingent though actually turning up from Australia this year, with Claire as well as James, and we've also got Tom, and I think we've got another one turning up a little bit later on in the season as well.
Okay, well yeah, you know, for those athletes from that part of the world, it's a huge commitment, similarly to all the Japanese teams. You know, they've got to leave their jobs, leave home for a long period of time. Obviously being based out in Europe, it's slightly easier for us. We can chop and change between the events, but yeah, for these guys it's a real commitment. And I know Tom and James, you know, they're taking 4 month sabbaticals from work to do this, so yeah, they've got the fire in their belly. They really want to do well to feel like they've rewarded themselves for the time off.
And then also, of course, here on our first block for the female athletes here is Hannah Midbo. Who do you think she's related to then? For Norway. We saw her at the Tierra Boulder Battle just recently also. Here she is pushing for a place in tonight's finals also. Very, very strong athlete. Similar kind of in style to Alex Puccio. But I think she's also got that kind of that flexibility and that technique behind her as well.
Yeah, you know, Hannah obviously...
Not that Alex hasn't, of course.
Well, no. Hannah obviously is a very strong route climber as well, so unlike Alex Puccio, really specialises in the boulders. Yeah, Hannah's got that experience of route reading on longer. She's very endurance based. But Thomas Farrell there, you just see struggling to get up on the initial holds, but once he's done that, he's fired straight through this boulder. So again, talking about the route setters, you know, trying to get that split, put something really difficult right off the bat, just to make the competitors fall, and they get the split straight away. And Tom should finish it up now.
Very nicely done by Thomas Farrell. Good start for him in this competition. Having a look at this this slabby problem then for the women starting off here. What are you thinking about this one? Is the transition onto the bonus there that's causing the most problem?
Yeah, it looks like a foot sequence thing here. You can see her trying to swap over the feet and get that position right. Obviously using the side wall. Last time she had her foot up there like this, just to try and get some more leverage across. The trouble is with putting your feet high when you're transferring sideways is you're going to generate a huge amount of momentum. So you can see here she's brought her feet back down. It tends to keep you a little bit more grounded and hopefully hold the swing, but I think she just needs to move a bit more positively across the wall there. You can see her quite hesitant going across to the left. These kind of jump moves, we had one similar in our qualification, and the girls actually had the same one yesterday, so provided they climbed on that group the day before, they'd have some experience of that move. But it does look like a very slopey volume, so need to take it easy on this and keep the tension.
We put a feature out actually yesterday about slabs. These guys should have been watching.
I probably should have been watching that as well. But,
Hannah with another attempt here now then. If you do want to get in touch with us, you know where to go. It's in the bottom right hand corner of your screen right now. Hashtag IFSCWC. You can get in touch with us on Twitter and let us know how you're doing today, what you're looking forward to in today's competition and our lineup for the finals, and where you're joining us from. That's in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Any questions from myself or John, who's with us all day today? We're very lucky to have him. Got a comment coming in here saying, never say never, Adam is unpredictable. Doesn't matter if the qualies went a bit worse for him. Moving forward into the rest of the competition, one thing to bear in mind on that one for Adam is the fact that these holds will be fresh for him, so it's actually quite a nice start, the competition for him. It's kind of a little bit of an advantage for the guys that did qualify lower yesterday. You think, John?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, mixed emotions for Adam. I'm sure he'll be wanting to be qualifying up high. You never know when countback's going to be playing an issue moving through the rounds. But yeah, as you say, you know, there are some benefits to coming out earlier. You get the fresher holds. But I mean, really, coming out later in the semi-finals, I think does have more of an advantage, and that's why the higher rank girls have that. You know, they really need to sort of maintain that momentum going through, and getting to hear the audience and things like that is a real benefit coming out later. So they'll know going out, you know, who's done what pretty much within a number of attempts, and that's a real psychological boost. So Hannah Midbo here, she's had a good few goes on the first climb slab. She's our first female competitor attempting this climb today, so we are going to see the stronger girls coming out slightly later, but why not make a difference? Very technical climb.
So another set out here now then for us, starting to fill up the wall a little bit more, and we get to see Adamondra now moving on to M2, so another block here to analyse for us, moving up the prow in the centre. Always seem to have a good set of blocks here at Innsbruck. It's a really nice setup on the wall. We obviously had that problem during the qualifications last year with the rain that came in, but this year it's been very well covered and provided that we had the full qualification setup there. And then also looking at the setting that we had yesterday and onto this one as well, it's always a good comp. It was great last year to see the double German win at the end of it. Very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. They always put on a great show here. I think this is the 10th year this event's been here, and yeah, they've really got the logistics sorted out. Everything for all the athletes behind the scenes has been fantastic. They've really prepared for the rain. Last year they were caught short, but yeah, and finally the route setting you can see here, they've set some really interesting problems. This one, a lot more compression-y. Adam seems to be in his element there on the smaller holds.
Very, very quick through that one. Plenty of time left to spare there for him.
Yep.
So 5 minutes for all of these athletes, as normal in the semi-finals, to come out and try and crack the blocks in front of them. Then they go back and have 5 minutes in isolation to rest up for a little while the rotation happens, and then back out again for another 5. And that, I think, is, as I was speaking to a few of the athletes yesterday, and I'm going to ask you about it now, John, the difference. We're spotting a little crimp here, actually.
So obviously the change to the rules this year, just pointing out the bolt holes on these volumes. So you can see how they're crimping down on the top of a bolt hole there, and it's been a real change to the rules. So it'll be interesting to see. You can see her taking advantage of crimping the bolt hole there. And Michael Poularoo's here. He's figured out the knee bars as well, so he's getting established. But yeah, this first female boulder looks pretty tricky, and I think moving quickly, confident with the feet is going to be the way. You've got to bounce across, I think, and get lucky.
So yes, as I was saying, they get the 5 minutes here, and that's the question I was going to pose to you actually, is how, I was asking a couple of the guys in ISO yesterday about how you train for this kind of environment, because it's obviously very different to when you're going out on rock and you're climbing yourself at your own pleasurable pace. Here the difference, of course, is the pressure that you're under and the fact that you're having to read a block so suddenly and so quickly. And you think that's the main reason why we don't really talk about the gradings so much?
Yeah, I think in competition, it's so hard to grade these climbs. Oh, Anna taking a bit of a tumble there. Looks like she's okay. But it's really hard. Ultimately, it's a power endurance sport, bouldering, and you've got to come out. You've got to be able to read these routes properly and correctly and execute them. So the grading's kind of irrelevant because it's more the skill-based factor. You've got to understand and be able to read the route in order to have success. That's not obviously to say that they're not very difficult to climb, but you know, that's the route setter's job, is to set things that challenge us, not just physically but mentally as well.
Well, here she goes again for another attempt. Nicely made earlier, just getting over onto that bonus. There are a couple of little crimps there, aren't there? Is that a crimp at the top? I can't quite tell whether that is a bolt hole or whether it's a crimp on the very upper edge, near where her hand is now. Definitely one lower. Yeah,
definitely one lower where she was just rubbing some chalk in. She slipped off that move last time, but I think the little hold we're talking about just under her forearms there is a little screw on for her to stand up on. There she goes.
Yep, so it's a foot.
Gonna get our first top.
There it is, our first top on F1 then here for Anna Galiamova of Russia. Just under a minute left on the clock for her to make it up there.
Yeah, and you could just see there her transfer across on the volumes was a lot more positive. She did the little skip and jump across, catching the side of the volume perfectly and just squeezing it into submission. Bit of a break now until our next competitor's out. I think we've got about another 30 seconds left. So yeah, the wall will fill up in a minute when we've got a full set of competitors out, but in these short rounds we've got a lot of tops going on, so people going straight back into isolation.
Well, we're about to see F2 here as well start to get filled up, which is right in front of your screen now at the moment, starting with that undercling to start and then moving up around these huge volumes with the little crimpy moves on there as well. The bonus you can see just tacked onto the yellow hemisphere underneath the blue one there. What are we thinking of this one? Is this going to be a tricky one for them? Obviously another very different style from a slab into an overhang.
Yeah, I looked at this one and I thought this was certainly the most basic one for the girls. Very, very powerful move straight off the deck, off this big undercut, transferring across onto the yellow volume. I'm sure it will come up on the screen in a sec, but you can just see there on the left-hand side of your screen those 2 blue crimps, and I think the girls are going to have to get a bicycle on that starting orange hold, so they'll put their left foot on the black mark there, you can see, and then toe hook the right foot underneath to try and keep some compression. Those holds are not good enough to hold all their body weight, so they'll need to be using their feet as well.
Well, you can see straight away there from Hannah Midbow, straight into her bicycle.
There she goes.
Quick swing out.
Tricky move here, getting the bonus. That bonus hold is very, very small, quite a slopey crimp, just out of reach on the yellow volume. So there's a small green foothold quite high up, and it might be the case that you've got to swing your heel up onto there. Thomas Farrell now in front of your screens, looking pretty cash, trying to find his way.
Smear with the toe hook there, stopped a bit of that swing, and he switched into a heel hook smear here as well.
Yeah.
Up onto the next one, but Tom's looking pretty strong here today. Came out and pretty much matched Adam on the first one. Less fuss, read the beater better, I would say, on the first one there, and then also now this is looking like it's going to be a top for him as well. Good start, good strong start for Australia here.
Yeah, and Hannah Mitbow making the dead point to that bonus hold. She's just got to keep her cool now, really crank up on it, up onto this next hold. Very, very strong.
There. She's just about got her foot onto it, and there it is, the left hand coming up onto the blue.
Oh, watch your hand, out of bounds there. Miho, final move up now, and she makes it. Good work. Jonas there, very experienced German competitor, right up the centre of the wall. He's been there, done it, won a World Cup before, so he knows exactly what to do. Climbing very well, super strong.
Mio as well, we've seen this year, placing 8th, just missing out on a final, but Japan as a whole this year are looking very, very strong with the likes of Fuji Kokoro coming through, and then of course the old classics like Sugimoto, Rei, and also
Sakura Hori.
So we are used to seeing Japan put on a pretty strong team. Of course, we've got Momoko and a couple of the others, but it's nice to see some of the younger crowd for Japan start to push forward even more. And also, like Aya Inoue here last year making finals, here again now making semis.
Absolutely. Yeah, it seems like the team's got some really good momentum. As I was saying earlier, it's a huge commitment for them to come away for the season, and I think having a larger team now really gives them some belief amongst that team that, you know, they can compete at that level. They've got a good benchmark to work towards. So yeah, it's great to see them. Of course, Akio Noguchi, you know, probably the most famous Japanese competitor. She'll be coming out slightly later on, and certainly for the girls that's a huge role model to have, and she's so consistent on the World Cup scene that, you know, those girls have really got something to look up to.
I would say that they were one of the strongest teams that we're seeing here in terms of a national team turning up, and the other one that I would say is this year looking incredibly strong is Germany. They just look so together and fixed and ready to do what they're doing. You know, Jan's performance from the very off has been incredible against Dimitri, and Eula's, you know, making finals left, right, and centre. She's looking very strong as well. Udo just seems to have, I don't know what's happened from last year to this. I mean, they were strong last year, but he just seems to really have bonded them this year into a common goal. They're all trying, really pushing for these finals.
Absolutely, Udo's done a great job, and across the whole team, you know, they've got some really good young guys coming through. I say young, you know, Jan and Eula, they've been doing it for a few years, but they're not exactly old. But yeah, Monica Recci, they've got a really good mix of type of climber as well. You've got someone like Jan, who's a bit of a Mustang, you know, just wrestles things into submission. You've got Jonas, very, very strong all-round climber. Julian, you know, she's really stepped up this year, and she's one of the top 5. You know, those 5 girls that have pretty much broken away from the main pack now.
It's just strange, isn't it? It's become a thing, the top 5 this year that we're seeing again and again and again. You know, we rotate the 6th member that's going to make finals in the comp, but other than that, it's pretty much those top 5s. You're looking at Anna, Akio, Shauna, Alex, and Eula. Those are out. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like we've got a new superhero team formed or something.
Yeah, it's like the Avengers of climbing coming together. But no, you know, the guys, they're all really supportive of each other, and I know they do spend some time together outside of the season, so they just seem to have managed to step it up a level, and I'm not sure what they're doing, but whatever it is, it's working, and it's great to see. I think for the sport as a whole, the girls have really pushed up the standard. You've only got to see that in the qualification round of this female qualification. The first opening boulder in each group was one of the men's qualification boulder, and
it's not the first time we've had it
Yeah.
this year either.
Yeah,
we had it in I believe it was in Chongqing. We had one that was exactly the same that we'd copied. I've definitely seen that before as well this year, that it's just been left for the women as well after the men, which I think that's great. That's peak performance in a sport.
Well, it's certainly giving us guys a reason to get back in the gym and
yeah, you guys got to sort it out. What's going on?
I know. Some of these girls are doing the boulders that some of the guys can't do, and that says a lot, I think. But we can see now we've got Adam out on the on M3, so this is the first time we've seen this boulder. This was one of the ones that I really like the look of. Very, very technical start. You can see him there just
very
using
well there by Adam, though.
Yeah.
The balance on that as he's just went out of the squat into standing up to try and get that lean up into the next volume.
That's it, a hard
completely
move.
Controlled.
You can see there Adam using his height to advantage. He can really get locked in on that elbow with his left hand and pretty much weightless to grab that bonus. Fantastic tension from him. Campusing away through now. Jan Hoja out on M1. Again, just squeezing those holds into submission. Super strong this year. He's just found that little 1% that's really pushed him forwards, and he's looking in great shape.
A narrow miss there for Jan Hoja, and also for Adam Ondra there as well. He's going to take a moment, just try and relax a little bit. Nice to see that little close-up shot of the feet as well, and what they've got to work with on the footholds on M3. Yeah, that was the one that you were picking out for us earlier on, that you think is going to be a bit of an interesting one throughout the rest of the comp as well, yeah?
Yeah, I think all of these ones that have very technical foot sequences, and you've got to be really positive, really quick when you swap feet on such a small foothold. So some of those guys that are maybe a little bit less confident, they're going to slip off and find that harder. Adam certainly, I think, will find this maybe easier than some of the shorter guys. He was able to get pressed up onto that volume very quickly, and it'd be interesting to see some of the shorter climbers like Sean McCall later on, see if it is a height-specific thing or whether they're just all really strong.
Well, Jan is having quite a time of things here on M1. It's going to be interesting to see how it affects his standings afterwards. Adam and Tom coming out putting on a very strong show on M1, and Jan is beasting his way through the beginning section, and then it's that reach up to try and transfer onto the bonus that's causing him an issue. Nice up there for Julia Kruder.
And here goes Adam again. So he just slipped off this last move, but there he goes, dead pointing into the pocket, much better accuracy. I think this is always the interesting thing, when you get a really strong competitor like Jan. He's obviously wanting to make finals in every round, and when you come out and people have topped a problem and you're just falling short, you start to question yourself, question your methods, and think, am I doing it right? But yeah, you're doing it right, Jan. That's the way forwards. Tricky match now. Swap the hands over. There we go. And should be able to press it up to the top.
That was a bit risky there from him. Big move as he tried to switch the fingers there in the pocket. And you can see on his face as well, he's a little bit relieved to get to the top of that one.
Yeah, and probably a little bit frustrated. He absolutely cruised through the start there.
Well, the thing I've noticed with him recently, the one thing that seems to be stopping him are either the very, very tiny pinches or tiny crimps on an overhang. And I think it's probably a weight thing, because he is such a big guy and he's a very tall guy as well. He can deal with anything where he's got to muscle through, but when he really has to constrict and really, really focus on a tiny, tiny point, particularly on an overhang where his weight is against him, it's cost him 2 or 3 times over the previous comps.
Yeah,
a few extra attempts.
Yeah. I mean, he is such a powerhouse. I know he's lost quite a lot of weight this year coming into the competitions. But yeah, you're totally right. He is a big guy, and when he gets his meat hooks onto things, he pretty much can power through. But on those smaller crimps, somebody like Rustam really comes into his element. He's got less weight to carry and super strong fingers. So yeah, it's simple power to weight really.
And Dimitri too, is very, very slim. There's this whole thing about Dimitri before a competition only eating boiled eggs. Do you know that one?
There's a lot of stories about the Russians' diet going through, but yeah, whatever they're eating, it's working, and I could do with some of it. So we've got Nicky de Leeuw from the Netherlands, resident of Innsbruck, so I know he'll be wanting to put on a good show for everybody today. He'll have a lot of support out in the crowd.
Quite a few people that are residents of Innsbruck here at the comp here, but from different nationalities as well. And I know that York spends a lot of time here also. You've got Killian obviously with Anna and that crowd with Jakob, who's not here this season due to a finger injury.
Yep.
But hopefully seeing him a little bit later on in the lead season as well. But have you climbed at the local gym here?
Yeah, Tivoli. It's an amazing climbing gym. Something quite esoteric with the bouldering there. It's not a boulder veld or something as big as that, but it just breeds these super strong climbers, and the Austrian team have done a fantastic job nurturing everybody. And we saw in the interview there with Reini earlier, they're planning a huge development to the centre there, and that can only kick that team further forwards.
Very impressive breeze up F2 there from the Nakamio.
We were talking about M3 there with the press up into the volume at the start and needing to be confident with the feet. You can see Tom there just really struggling to get the right position. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys progress through it. Every one of those little slips puts that element of doubt into the mind. Am I doing it right? Is that the right sequence? Have I just, all these things that they're thinking about, need to just take it back to basics and pull back on and try again.
The other thing about Tivoli as well is that the people that train there, for example, like Anna and Killian, they actually set the blocks in the boulder gym there. So you've got the advantage, if you can get down to Tivoli, of basically climbing on things that these guys have been training on for the past week before they decide they're going to change it again. They're pretty much given free rein at that place.
Yeah, and for people of their standards, the weaknesses in inverted commas that they're working on are quite specific. So they're trying to set boulders that really target very, very minor percentiles, and if you get down there's some real treats for you. It's interesting to see Nicky here on M1 struggling with this first move. He's very, very good at dynos. I think he held the dyno world record for a year or so. And speaking to him after Grindelwald.
Is that for the biggest jump?
Yeah, for the biggest jump.
I saw that was in, was that possibly in Purs, was it, that we were doing that? There was a big competition in Purs last year for a dyno jump, and it was fantastic. It was a little sidewall next to the block, the lead wall that we were playing on there, and they just kept moving a hole further and further away. It's almost like a sliding block.
That's the way.
Great to see.
Yeah. But Nicky, I know last week in Grindelwald there was 2 sets of qualification boulders as we had here yesterday, and there was one that was quite slabby and one that was quite jumpy, and unfortunately Nicky ended up in the slabby one and he wasn't too happy. So we've got Jonas Baumann from Germany on M2, looking pretty casual so far. Needs to make the big move up now, up onto the red and black volume, and then last pull up to the final hold to finish.
Yulia Bramchuk here over on F1, struggling with this transition across. She's going low here, and that sudden push for it across to that bonus is, as you said earlier, it's generating a lot of momentum. The thing is, she isn't putting her leg that high, but she's going low herself, and so that's bringing her leg high and giving her that extra push.
Yeah,
maybe needs to stand up a little bit more, trust the feet as she should do on slabs, and just be a bit more confident. See, now her feet is technically high to where she is on her body now, and when she goes from that big push from that right leg is sending her straight off the wall. You can see it there.
Yeah, you can see she's just getting a little flat-footed on the left, a little too stretched out. She can't quite generate any momentum and upwards push. Nicky de Leeuw. So he's ended up in the same situation that Adam Ondra was earlier, with facing the wrong way through this knee bar section. So see if he can sort it out and pivot the other way. I'm sure he'll be trying to get the bonus hold while he's up there.
Let's have a little bit of a chat about this F3 problem that we've got Hannah Midbow on there, the Jiu-Jitsu hold on it, all black. It's a very slick looking boulder, and I wasn't sure when I first looked at this, because they hadn't put the F or the M markers up yet, whether it was going to be a male or female block. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I said right from the start that I thought this would be one of the harder boulders for the girls. Very, very hard start, slopey, pinchy holds, and then I think if you get established on the volume slightly higher up, you should finish it up okay, but certainly the start is very compression-y, and I would say the earlier we're out on the wall, potentially the better conditions it's going to be, but obviously the girls coming out later are a lot stronger, so they'll be able to squeeze, but certainly conditions will play a part in this.
Well, we're getting to see our fourth problem here now then for the men. Adam out on another climb, looking very well at the moment.
Yeah, this final boulder for the men's looks very, very compression-y. There's slightly just above from where you can see now, there's two very big grey blobs which they're going to have to squeeze. But these starting volumes, really interesting holds. Find the right point on them, and then they feel good. If you don't, then they feel absolutely terrible. But you can see here he's just going to have to pinch this grey blob and then swing out onto this next one, using his height again there very, very well.
Using the feet to secure himself a little bit more, not so quick a movement. Big pop here now though.
Yeah,
and it's the accuracy finish, isn't it? You can see that there's very little in terms of any leeway on the pockets here.
Exactly. Adam on two problems today has really struggled with that last move. Again, probably quite shrewd from the route setters. They need to get a split. Dead points like that into pockets are competitors' worst nightmare. You can see there Michael Bouleroux from France doing the same thing as Adam, just a little overconfident into the slot. You need to make sure you keep all the accuracy, all the tension until you've latched it.
Did you say Michael Bouleroux from France?
Sorry, from Italy. I might have done, yeah. I was looking at Tito at the same time. So.
It's the same colour. It's confusing. So we've got Tito here on M1 with this other one. Now he's another one that's quite tall, relatively powerful as well. Be interesting to see how he gets on with the pinches around that bonus. He's actually struggling with that first. It's kind of, is it a Gaston he's going out into there? Yeah, it's like opposing presses. So your two hands are on those volumes and with your palms pointing inwards. Here goes Adam for the final move again. Just taking that extra little second to keep the tension on the right hand. What's nice about M4, and I think it's going to be something that plays a role later on, is the fact that it's a relatively big move to get up there, and you can't really static it that much because there's just nothing to keep on with the right hand.
Yeah.
You've got that big, as you said, that compression-y sort of build up to those two sort of almost slopers, but you can just about pinch it. And as soon as you go up for that pocket, it's basically an all or nothing moment. You either got to hit it with the accuracy or you're coming down.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's
it's a clever move from the route setters, I think, because it is, again, like we're saying, it's going to rack up the attempts.
Exactly.
You're either going to nail it first time, or it's going to possibly take 2, 3, 4, and that gives us our split, which is very important in something like this because we can't go to count back for the qualies because we had two separate groups.
Exactly.
So it's a traditional split group semi-final where it suddenly becomes very hard with lots of attempts going on to try and make that split in our athletes in the finals.
Yep. And we've had tops pretty much on every boulder, I think, now, apart from F3. So the route setters, the crowd, you can see them all clapping there. They like to see tops, and I think as all competitors, we like to get to the top. But the route setters have got the job to do. They need to get a split. So the easiest way to do that is to find moves that are very low percentage that make you really have to execute. And I know some of the really stronger competitors, particularly in the female field, get frustrated sometimes when it turns into a flash comp, and you're looking to get 5 tops in 5 or 6 attempts to qualify through for the final. But it's just becoming so difficult for the route setters. There's such a fine line between being able to do something very easily or it being absolutely nails, and I think sometimes they do struggle to get the balance, but it is the hardest job, second to climbing the boulders. Tito, I think, having about 20-30 attempts on this first move, so when it comes to totting up the scores at the end, if he does get through, be really punished, but just not quite making it. 30 seconds left, so still time to stick the jump, and if he can, that'll mean he gets the bonus, but yeah.
It's one of those things, isn't it? We saw from Jan recently as well, just making the finals, but by just racking up the attempts, he kind of just didn't care. It was just, as long as I get there, I'm going to be okay. But it's careful balance, because it's the most amount of tops and the least amount of attempts. It's whether you're careful about it or not. One of the things that I've noticed that's very good for Adam to come out, and obviously it's in the back of his mind anyway, but he'd make an attempt to sometimes come down to the mat, a bit of frustration, let it out, shake it out, just walk around for a bit, take a breather, and then okay, second attempt, and here's your top.
Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to remove that disappointment from dropping a last hold. You have to come down so quickly, refocus, and give your maximum attempt again.
Monica Ricci out here, and also Armin Temenisen of Russia on M and F1.
Also got Miho here trying F3. It's really hard first move. Very, very slopey hold. I think when I was out reading these problems earlier, potentially we'll see some of the stronger females going up with the left hand on the start of F3. Puts you into a better sequence for the next move, which may be the way forwards. And you can see Tom Farrell here on the right getting a little frustrated at the start of this problem, looking at his skin. It sounds so stupid, finger skin being one of the most critical elements for climbers, but it's so important for us here, having good friction.
Make a huge difference, even if it's just an irritation more than anything, even if it hasn't fully peeled off and you're having a hell of a time with blood and everything, but even if it's just an irritation, you're having to tape it up, and it's just taking your mind away from what you're doing.
Yep.
Hands they're the most important thing about what this is.
Yeah, it's toes to fingertips territory. You've got to be so strong, able to put down the power from both top to bottom as quickly as you can. Miho there on her last attempt got pretty well established up on that first black hold. Be interested to see if she can hold the swing coming out to the main volume. Armin making the dyno up through the volumes at the start of M1.
Just got to muscle up into this knee bar. It looks like he's going the wrong way with the knee bar here as well. Yeah, we're going to have an Ondra situation on our hands with Armin.
And of course
trying over here as well on M3.
Just to talk through some of the rules with regards to bonus holds, the key thing now is not just touching a bonus hold, it's making a transfer off it, so making a positive movement past it. So be interesting to see how the judges score these attempts. Armin there just reaching up and touching it, holding it for a few seconds but not really making any progress, so be interested to see if they give her that result. Monica Ricci topping out on F1.
And it looked like Armin had figured out that he's got to go the other way there, but just couldn't quite make the move up to the hold just before the bonus, first of those pinches.
Yeah, it's a really steep board that Armin's on there. You can just see him taking a few seconds. The longer you hang on, more tired you get, and this is where I talked about power endurance. I think you might actually be wearing a compression top there, just to keep the lactic acid at bay. It is pretty chilly out there today. The girls seem to have the very cold conditions yesterday afternoon, and it seems like it's back with a vengeance today. Hannah Mitbo as well on F4. Our first competitor of the day on that. Looks very, very powerful top section, pinching the arete using the thumb catch. And Armin on M1 got the right sequence this time.
Tom Farrell was just his last attempt on M4 there, was trying to pop into the bonus hold and just lost a foothold as he went up to the bonus. He's taking some time here. He's been down on the mat for about 20 seconds now, just shaking out for another attempt. He's probably thinking this is going to be the last, so gear up for it. Mio here though.
Yep, she's up on the volume.
Now she made it to here last time. It was this next move that she couldn't catch, and she does this time with the pinch here on the bonus as well.
She should finish this up.
This should be quite good for her now. She's got a position there. She can get her foot inside the dish.
Last move.
Great body she managed it as well. Very nicely done. Strong performance here from Nanaka.
Yeah, that'll put her in great position. It's going to be one of the harder boulders today for the girls, I think. One more to go for her. I think she's got 3 tops so far today, so she's putting herself in a great position. Tom Farrell, last 15 seconds, and he's up. Held the swing now, just needs to keep it together for this dead point.
Doesn't quite make it, and with 7 seconds, that's going to be it for Farrell. Manages the bonus though.
Yeah, he looks pretty annoyed there walking back on the map, but he's putting up a good turn there today. I think a lot of guys are going to struggle. The conditions are only going to get worse throughout the day, so certainly done himself proud.
So Jorg's out now then, as well as Anoe. Now I made the finals here last year, if you remember. So this is a nice familiar feeling for her with the crowd and the setup here in the Marktplatz, on the side of the river in Innsbruck. Welcome if you are joining us. If you do want to get in touch with us, you can do so online using the Twitter hashtag. Checking in with that as often as we can. Jan now over onto M3 here.
And Jorg Verhoeven from the Netherlands, resident here in Innsbruck as well. Trying to figure out what to do at the start of M1. You got to get on board, Jorg. Looking at the run and jump. Now into the double. Just falling short. Bit of whiplash, I'm sure. Jan Hoja there, looking quite frustrated on M3. Not really in his element on the steep ground. He's got to use his technique, get those feet working today.
This next one for Tito should be more up his alley, more direct. Now that's been a very, very strong run from Michael Picola, as we've seen, I believe, straight tops there for him. Try and find out how many he's done that in, but he's been looking very, very strong, and that was a nice management of the last block there also.
Yeah, super strong there. We got Tito finishing up M2 pretty quickly. 3 minutes on the clock, so that must have been first or second try. Jorg Verhoeven.
Just prior to that last block from Picola, as he had 3 tops in 7, I believe here. And I'm just thinking he might actually have just matched Andra, who is at the moment top of our pile.
So it looks like it's going to be a really a flash comp today. A lot of tops for the guys from the early competitors. Now we've seen Adam Undra out first, and obviously well-renowned, probably
yes,
one of the stronger competitors here. Jan finally sorting out that foot swap there. Just needs to press it up into this crimp. Really struggling to get the right body position here, but yeah, it's just, he needs to figure out to turn that left hand and point it the other way away from himself so he can press up into the volume. Should enable him to keep a bit more body tension. Anna Galliamova there on F4 pulling on. This is the really basic board style pulley problem. All those hours and days in the gym now just come down to the pure crimping on this steep section. Again, tricky setting from the route setters, leaving the really hard, powerful boulder till the 4th climb when they're all a bit tired. Jorg Verhoeven here. Oh, just slipping off on the last move. Recovers well. Acknowledging the crowd. Keep it together, Jorg. There we go. And that's a top for Jorg.
Nicely managed there. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. A shout out to Blockfest, who's getting in touch to say nice to hear climbing legend John Partridge on comms here today. Anything you want to say to that, John?
Well,
how much are you paying them?
The Blockfest team are very kind to me. Not in their route setting. Blockfest is a series of competitions back in the UK. Great set of guys: Gab Parry, Mike Langley, Cornelia. You know, they put on a great show. Trying to make it as big as a World Cup event here, and they're certainly doing a good try. But I know they'll be watching out, looking for some nice blocks to test us next year.
And also a question from Stephen here on the feed as well, asking what defines the order of these guys in the semi-finals and how do they get through on that one? Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So basically it's the qualification score. So there's about 100, I think 100 guys yesterday competing. So they're split into 2 different groups.
151 altogether,
right,
in terms of overall athletes. We had 81 men and 70 women, so that's a lot of people,
yeah,
which is wide.
So basically it's split into 2 groups, an A group and a B group. and the idea is that they set similar style boulder problems and similar difficulties, and they run kind of 2 competitions at the same time, and then the top 10 from each of those groups progress through to this semi-final round today. And if you won the qualification group yesterday, you'll come out last in the semi-final today, so you get a bit of advantage hearing the crowd and all the support.
So yes, reverse order for them today. Our big titans of the qualifications are still yet to come out and get started. Jürgen here now though, Clement's younger brother, out on M1. I know that Clement's not really competing this year on the bouldering because he's spending more time working on projects. He's shooting some films at the moment. And then we've got Katja Sauwein out here also on F1, our next 2 competitors here for us from Slovenia and Austria. So Katja's got the home crowd advantage here.
Yeah, Katja, again, really seasoned climber, climbing in front of a partisan crowd, so she'll be putting on a good show.
Armin now out onto M2 as well. Did you see Jan earlier on M2?
Say that again?
Did you see Jan Hoyer earlier
on M3? M2 I did.
Earlier. The one that we've got now, Armin Terminason climbing on. No, it doesn't surprise me that you didn't see him. It was basically like hello and then goodbye straight away, because he'd just very much more into his style to what we saw on M1.
Yeah,
but he's the defending title holder here, so he's, you know, and with his year that's been going on at the moment, what's really interesting is that when he actually won here last year, Dimitri, there he was, a flash straight away from Katja Sauwein. There's a lot of support there from the crowd. I believe that was a flash.
Yeah, I think it was.
Double check. Yeah, the interesting thing was that Dimitri came second here last year when Jan took the gold, and this year so far they've basically just been switching.
Yeah.
So from the start we had Jan with the gold, Dimitri with the silver, and then in Baku we had Dimitri with the gold and Jan with the silver, and then we've just had Jan with the gold again, Dimitri with the silver. So this time, you know, is it, you know, and if it's working out that way all the way through, maybe it's going to be Dimitri this year. Who knows? Although I know that there's a really nice competition building up between the two of them. They are winding each other up something rotten in isolation. It is quite funny. Last week it was I was chatting to Jan and actually, sorry, I was chatting to Dimitri, and I said to Dimitri, you know, it's been you and Jan all the way, and he was going, I know, and then he said, you know, it's Jan, then Dimitri, then Jan, then Dimitri, and then Jan came across and overheard us and went, yeah, now it's just Jan.
Yeah, well, looking at Jan earlier on M3, unfortunately not getting a top, so I think he's going to find it quite hard to qualify today. We've seen a lot of guys on 4 boulders already, so that'll be a turn up for the books if Jan doesn't qualify.
Yeah, that will be, definitely. And then of course you've got Killian.
Yep.
Here as well, and that, you know, he is Innsbruck's home boy, as it were. You know, there's so much support here for him. It was interesting during the qualies yesterday. It was a smaller crowd yesterday, but still quite big. But when he went round to block 5, that's round the corner, you can't actually see it from where we are at the moment, what you guys are seeing back at home. But when he went round to that block, the entire crowd just left the arena to go and stand by it. I thought, oh, okay, they are all here for Killian.
Well, he's the golden boy of Austrian climbing. You know, he's been such a fantastic ambassador for the sport through the years and pretty much won it all. I know he's got his eyes on the World Championships in Munich later in the year. I think that's the one title that's eluded him in his amazing career so far, so he'll be wanting to use these World Cup events to get some momentum moving into that.
Armin still fighting away with M2 here, and very, very nearly made by Jürgen. Down on the ground again. He's going to have to gear up and go for it. He's got 1 minute and 18 seconds left, so he can't spend that much time down on the ground.
Yeah, it looks like this middle batch of guys starting to struggle with the top half of boulder problems, and I don't know whether that's a conditions thing. Nicky DeLu on M3 making short work of the start and getting pressed across onto the bonus, but not quite sticking that jump move into the sloping hole.
Nicky DeLu with another attempt here on M3, and also for Julio Bramchuk on F3 just beside him.
So I don't know if you can hear at home the DJs ratcheting up the music and the beats.
You can actually see the DJs there in the car that's parked on a roof, just in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. That's the DJ up there. He was putting out some decent stuff yesterday. We've got him going through all through today as well. No idea how the car got up there, by the way. I don't know.
Well, it's a 4x4, but I think you need a helicopter to get it up there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, that extra drive. I don't know. vertical as well.
Yeah, it's the Batmobile.
I know what he did. He just turned up and dropped a fat base until he got up. He just bounced.
Oh, Ure, they're just misreading the top of the boulder.
That was 2 or 3 times that we've seen him do that one as well. He's going to be quite disappointed with that. We've got Gabri coming out now though as well, and he's been looking really strong this year, as has of course Euler Verm, who's now on F1 also. So 2 there to keep your eyes peeled for.
Yeah, you know, Gabri took quite a break from the World Cup scene. Went outside, repeated a lot of and put up a lot of hard boulders outside. Maybe just deciding that he wanted to work on some weaknesses, get some more raw strength, and now he's definitely back on the circuit and putting in a couple of great performances recently.
Well, here he goes for his first attempt here on M1. Euler doing the same here on the slab. Last climb of the semi-finals for Jan Hoyer in the bottom right corner of your screen. Instantly making that traverse though by Euler, that little pop over onto the bonus. No issue there at all. With confidence or with efficiency. Straight up here, this is looking really good. Had a flash for Euler Verm.
Yeah, very strong from here. And
the first of our Avengers has emerged. She's going to be making it through into the finals by the look of things here.
Jan Hoyer on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen just dropped the slot last move, so bit of frustration creeping into him. He's had a difficult tour of these blocks today. Pretty much cruised the first 2, but then got shut down on the third one, which Tito Calion from France on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen is just starting. Home crowd for Jorg on your top right of your screen, just about to finish up this climb, and Gabri finally getting established and looks pretty chill through this section.
Very nice for Jorg here as well. Up in the top right there is the top for him. Tito's got the advantage of height here on M3 at the start, in terms of that push up into the little mini roof, I suppose, provided by the volume. But then getting round from that point and crossing his foot over onto the next section is what's costing him at the moment. Here we go again with another attempt. Tito, Gabri looking good here.
Yeah, just taking pretty much a one-hand rest, choosing to sit on that orange volume. Very clever from him. Recuperate a bit of strength for this final move. This slopey pocket match, and now just little pop up. It's further than you think it is, so a couple of guys have fallen short, but yeah, Gabri's got the strength there, one-arming that pocket. Good top from him relatively quickly.
He's a very confident climber, I've noticed, from the couple of, even the attempts he was making at that dyno start earlier on. It was basically a run and jump he was doing, with a little bit of a stall to say, yeah, I'm on the start position, but now I'm going.
Yeah.
Just not really wasting much time at all, and then as you said, taking the one arm rest, whatever, halfway up, and even the switch of the hands once he got up into the little pocket didn't seem very hesitant at all there, very comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, Gabri's been doing a lot of route climbing, so obviously his fitness levels are a lot higher, his route reading ability, able to figure things out quite quickly. We've got Aya here making good progress, but just falling short on the F2 problem there. Very small yellow crimp that they're going up to. Tito got his hands in the perfect position here. Bit of an alley-oop move.
This is the bit that it was causing some trouble for him earlier on, but he's past it now.
Oh,
and there it is, nicely caught with the right and then straight up to match with the left there. As you can see, the crowd here is absolutely rammed now. We have a huge audience gathered to watch here in the Marktplatz in Innsbruck, and even more online.
So we've got three Japanese on the wall. Oh no, it's a double picture on.
Did you just get confused with the mirror image?
Yeah. Won't be long though. We've obviously got Akio Noguchi still to come out from Japan, so it's a very strong representation from the Japanese team today.
Shout out to Molly Thompson-Smith, who's joining, saying, "Thought I recognised that voice." John.
Yeah, seem to have
no hello to me.
I know,
Forget that.
I know, Dan. I know. Well, hello to you, Molly. Molly's one of our.
I'm not going to say hello. She'll say hello to me. No, I've got the hump now.
Molly's the future. Well, actually, she's the present of British climbing. Incredibly strong climber. won't be long till she's out here competing with us on the tour.
And there you can see the crowd now in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Nice and busy. A lot of support coming in as Fanny Gibbet comes out onto F1 now for us. And also Domen Skofic on M1.
Yeah, Domen climbed very, very well yesterday. He unfortunately was unranked coming into this competition because he'd been focusing on his route climbing. So spent a lot of time in isolation, long wait to come out, and then absolutely crushed it at the end of the day. Did 4 tops in 8 attempts, I think. A very, very good round, and qualified high up. Looking very, very fit in isolation. Extremely strong on the crimps. He was certainly won the warm-up isolation comp. Not that means anything.
Well, we actually went into isolation yesterday. I don't know whether any of you guys watching have caught the video that's up already on the IFSC's channel, but we were asking people back there what they do to relax, which I found quite ironic because it's very unrelaxing and tense if I'm back there asking them these questions just before they're about to climb, but it was a good fun. One thing for you then, John, what do you do when you're back in ISO to try and zone out? You just mentioned the climbing competition. Do you actually compete back there? Do you all challenge each other?
Just a bit of a running joke, really. That it's quite an intense atmosphere back there, and a lot of guys trying to do one-upmanship on each other. And you kind of think, well, you can do what you want in here. It's just about what you do out on the wall that really matters. But for me personally, I just spend my time trying to take as much food from isolation as I can.
Huge support for Katia. There you can see the home crowd advantage really working for her. Straight to the top of F2. So for yourself then, what you obviously don't get involved with the bad boys back there that are trying to compete with each other. No. Do you zone out to music? Do you read? What do you do?
Well, yesterday, what did I do yesterday? As I say, tried to pick up a few tasty treats. They put on a great spread in isolation. So, and then really it's just a case of trying to zone out, get some focus together. So yeah, I listen to some music, try and get into the routine of what I'm there to do, which is go through my set warm-up program and get myself ready, focus, and then really just get out there. It's more excitement really when you're in isolation. You feel like you just want to get out there and unleash on the wall.
It's an interesting ISO here as well, because where you can see the entrance in the middle at the moment where these guys are coming back in and out from. Yesterday there was a tent there and all of you guys were sitting in the middle, which is different to what we normally see at a lot of events where you sit in front of your next block facing the audience and basically in the trough, the alleyway where all the press are. It's usually separated, but that's the space for ISO. Is it weird having to go and sit in an ISO that's a little box that you're all staring at each other?
I thought it was quite good yesterday.
You enjoyed that?
Yeah, I thought it was nice. It actually gave us a lot less walking about between the boulders, which takes an element of stress out of it. Nice to see the crowd as well. Fanny Gibert there getting a top on F1. And Domen really struggling to pull onto this boulder here. Not quite figured the little pop-up. There we go.
I think he's got to get 2 feet on that bottom one before he can start on this.
Yeah, exactly. Needs to get the right position. You can just see the tape marks there on the volume. Need to get 2 feet onto that yellow volume, 2 hands in the roof. That's the start position, and then you can move off.
It must be very weird for him because he is predominantly a route climber. So this is. I don't think I know of any routes or have ever seen any routes that just start off with something as bizarre as this. So
no,
you'd never really get yourself into a position where the footholds are non-existent at the start.
It would be the shortest lead World Cup in the world, yes. I think, if they had this as the starting move. But yeah, Domen
and a dyno, which is another rare thing that you see on there.
True. A double backwards dyno. Yeah, you don't get many of those on the routes. Certainly not to holds as bad as they're going to either.
This is an interesting method from him now as well. He's trying to turn to face the audience. He knows he's got to turn around to go up into this Gaston catch.
Yep. I think he's figured it out now. Need to get some good tension through the feet and then just bust it out into the double Gastons.
The other thing is, you say they're starting to figuring it out now, but it's 24 seconds left on the clock here. This just goes to show how important it is that you can read and change what you're doing as well. The one conversation I got into just recently, as Armin Terminason tops out there on M3 with one of the athletes, was how easy or how hard it is for you to switch your beta halfway through, to remind yourself, okay, this isn't working, let's try something else, because you have to make that call as to whether it's you finding your footing in the way that you're doing it, or whether it is the wrong way to do it, or there is an easier way.
Exactly, that's the difficult thing. You've got to evaluate yourself and your performance, and you think, am I doing this correctly, and am I just not maybe strong enough to do the move, or is there a bit of trickery that I'm missing out on? And that's really the hard part of competition climbing, is trying to balance that and figure out what is the right way to do it.
And the thing is, you have to do that in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
you only have 5 minutes to have that internal conversation with yourself, which that took you about 20 seconds to say, let alone go through the thought process of actually doing that thing and analysing it. The time limit is so strict as well in the semi-finals. In the finals we get the 4+ minute basis, so if you're on the wall before the clock goes, then you can take a bit of time if you can find a place to rest or at least think about what you're doing. Or you can use the first 4 anyway to analyse it a little bit better and make the one big push of it at the end.
And I think that's why it's so hard in 5 minutes. If these boulders were, let's just say the guys had 10 minutes per boulder, it would be a completely different competition. The standard of climb would be much, much harder, because they'd have that time to figure it out and evaluate, think about each specific movement. As it stands, it's all about executing quickly. Tito here on his final boulder, dead pointing to the slot. And that's the last 2 problems.
Was it very, very nice there from Tito.
Absolutely. Mina and Leslie Wojastic.
Looking strong here. And Mina now out on F1.
Yeah, she had a good qualifier.
Timonov, who's put on a very strong show at the start of this year as well. Young, relatively unknown to us for Russia.
Yeah, and Gabri here on M2, hanging around trying to figure out what to do. I think he's unlocked it now. Really, really strong.
This is what I mean about the confidence with him. He's readjusting, but once he feels like that, okay, that's it, I'm locked into the position that I need to be in before I'm moving. It's just like, right, okay, bang, next move, bang,
exactly.
Next move. He's got that drive and confidence to do it.
You can almost see the thought process that he's going through. It's very calculated. It's like, yes, got it. Okay, have I got that? Nope. Can I do anything better?
Yep.
And that constant evaluation. But great climbing from him. That's two tops so far.
And goodbye to Eula for now as well, because there it is, F2 dealt with. Mina, again, another one. You can see the hesitance here in this cross. Managing it that time.
Yeah, Mina's very, very good on her feet. So, very strong outdoor climber. Excellent season last year and having another good one this year. She can press this up now. There we go. Great start for her. I think that's second attempt for her. Momoka there on female 4. I'm not sure if we've had a top on that today yet. This final move seems very, very big, and be interesting to see some of the stronger girls when they come out later, whether it ends up going. Vadim Timonov on M1 there. Very tenacious from him, hanging around. A couple of foot slips, but still kept it together. Great work from him.
So to keep you updated on some of the results that they stand at the moment, we currently have 2 people in first place, and it is Ondra and Pekolores. They've both done it every single block in 8 attempts, which is putting them at the top of the pile. Jan Hoyer's down below them because he didn't make M3, which is interesting, but he's currently in 3rd place. So we'll see whether he manages to cling into a spot on the finals, or whether he's going to be knocked down by some of the athletes that are coming a bit later on. York struggling to do that match and switch there on a tiny
That was incredible. He crimped the very small foothold low down to enable him to come over to the bonus hold, and then he matched the bonus, which most people were struggling to even hold with one hand. So if he can keep it together for this last move, it'll be a great top for him. Very hard dead point. Just a bit gassed out. Yeah, it's gonna leave a bruise. You can see the crowd there. It's absolutely rammed in here today. Great atmosphere.
Mamoka then here on F4. Big swing on the crossover there. Very experienced now, young female athlete. After the lead seasons that she's had on the youth circuit, and then also moving into the seniors as well, and then also into bouldering now, starting to make a push for that one. But she's basically at the young age that she is. I think she's just turned 20, or she's just about to turn 20. But she's a previous world youth champion, in the lead, and she's now, I would say, the only other athlete that's consistently challenging Kim Jae-in in the lead season, other than Mina Markovic. It's all about Mina and Kim, the two of them battling it out for that top spot. But Mamoka is consistently in third place at pretty much all of the comps last year. She was really, really strong throughout all of that season, and she's also now doing bouldering as well, which is really good to see that crossover into the different genres. Do you think we're going to see more of that in years to come? Because it seems to have been it started to pick up, that more and more often now we're seeing this crossover between bouldering and lead.
Yeah, I think it's difficult. They are completely different disciplines, but the attributes for each overlaps very, very well. So the route climbers, when you come bouldering, you've got the fitness and you've got the route reading ability, and similarly, the boulder is going to route climbing. They've got that raw power and the sort of dynamic nature to their climbing. So I think they both try to use both to their advantage, but I think we'll definitely see more of an overlap as we move on. It's only logical that the two disciplines should be conducive to each other.
We also have that overall combined event now in the World Championships, which is nice to see, where athletes take part in all three of the different disciplines. Sean McCall's the current overall champion of that from last year, and we're going to wait and see how it portrays and how it develops. In the World Championships this year.
Yeah, Sean's obviously extremely good route climber as well, which really helps in that combined score. But we got Rustam here on M1.
Had a bit of tricky time getting into the dyno. He was managing the roof and the starting position well enough because he's shorter and it'll be an easier way for him to get into there. But the dyno wasn't too comfortable for him. He had a couple of attempts at that, but here he is now up onto the pocket.
Yeah, he took a very different sequence through that middle section. Didn't even use the hold out right, which was incredible. And looks in great shape actually, Rustam. Packed on a few pounds of power by the looks of it, and using it to good advantage.
Marine Thevenet, we've seen her in finals this year already. Ooh, that was a risky one there, but she's managed to lock it in at the end.
And we got Armin on M4, just powered out straight onto his back on the mat. You can see this power endurance that I was talking about earlier. By the time you get to this fourth boulder, if you've had too many attempts on the previous climbs, you're absolutely fatigued by the time you get here.
It's very impressive from Monica Recchi then with that switch over onto the side. Now using the arete with the right hand on F4. Really, really having to squeeze here. Edge her way up on this one. She's got to do some sorting out the feet. As you can see, she's already straight away going for that one. This is good from her at the moment. Still using the arete, going for a cheeky toe hook as well. Can she get up there? She's got to stand. Big stretch.
That
really
is incredible.
Big stretch. Is she going to hold it? Oh! Very, very nearly, but not quite. That's a very interesting way of going for the finish there. It was
unbelievable move from her there. Very, very good effort. I still don't think we've seen a top of this boulder today, and that's probably the closest we've got from memory. Looks like that tumble hurt. She's just rubbing her neck there, but she'll regroup. Fantastic effort from her getting up there. So in theory now she knows it's possible. She'll be evaluating, was that the right method at the top, or perhaps was I trying it a method that was too difficult? Have I got enough strength to go again? How much time do I spend resting now? All these things going through the mind.
That's definitely going to be on her mind now. You can see she keeps glancing over to try and have a little look at the clock and what's going on here. She knows she needs the time to get up into that position again, but it's just how soon you brush back onto the wall, because of course you're tired, and that takes it out. That attempt would definitely have taken a lot out of her.
Absolutely.
But it's a fourth block, so she knows that it's kind of all or nothing here now if she wants to try and make finals.
Absolutely.
And she does get those 3 or 4 hours rest, so we'll hope to see her pushing just as hard again now as she goes for it.
Yeah, you can see her really struggling to keep on now. Yeah, that last effort just totally took it out of her.
Yeah, it has.
And
That's a shame.
She's done. Personally, I think in that situation where you've only got maybe 30 seconds left on the clock, you're probably better off winding down the clock just for that extra 10 seconds rest before pulling back on. Realistically, you're only going to get one good go, so the more rest you can accumulate, the better chance you've got. But here they come again for the next boulders. We've got Gabri Moroni coming out onto M3. He's had a great round so far, 2 tops. We've got another Innsbruck resident here, Katarina Poch from Austria. Going to try her luck on the slab. Very, very good technical climber. Come through all the youth ranks. Now very much established in the seniors. Typically spends most of her time in the league climbing events, but obviously being a home competition, she's looking to put in a good show today, and qualifying very, very high up in the qualification round yesterday.
So Katarina Bosch here as well with Thomas Tauborn now out for us on our first blocks. Katja, another very strong lead climber. Another one from the youths who's done very well over the past few years on the World Youths, European Youths.
Mina Leslie Wojastik there on the top right hand corner of your screen, campusing through female 2. Just needs to figure out what to do with the feet. If she can grab that green, it would allow her to put a foot up, but there it is, choosing to use it for the heel. Great effort from her. If she can lock this down, getting powered out.
Tricky, yeah, you could see she was actually pumping with her arms to try and get better leverage on it, and just that rev is going to take it out of you after 1 or 2.
Yeah, I know Mina put in a serious amount of gym training this year for the season, so she's very, very strong. She'll have the fitness for sure. And Thomas Taupon there, starting on the top left-hand corner of your screen, very, very strong through. Again, another good route climber, or all-round climber in fact. I'm sure he'll be going for the overall combined score at the World Championships later in the year.
Jörg fighting as well on M4, and Eula meeting her first tricky block of the competition here. As you said earlier as well, John, you were saying that the second set of blocks, 3 and 4, are the ones where it really is going to split the competition up here, because the first 2 are tough, but then they get pretty darn tough after that.
Yeah, it's a cumulative event, they try and set them. So, sorry to break my train there,
Gabri, that's
facing outwards in the groove.
Nice
amazing from him
there.
Very, very controlled coming through.
They look like it's actually helped him to the position.
Yep.
To get over where he is now. Straight up. That was very, very nice to see a different beater there.
Yeah, got to keep it together now for this final move. This left hand that he's holding is very, very slopey crim. We've seen mixed success for people matching it. It seems to be the way to just give it the alley-oop over into the final hold. And again, we were talking about a height difference. It has been generally the taller chaps that have been topping out on that boulder. So let's see how some of the shorter guys, Rustam, Gabri, managed to find a way.
Here as well, 1 move away from the top, up on M1. Thomas Shorty Tauborn.
There he is.
There it is, very nice from him. Jörg's kind of hit a tough point, hasn't he? From the first, he came out and looked pretty strong from the off, but it's a similar thing. As you said, it's an accumulative thing. You're going to get more and more tired, and the blocks are actually getting harder throughout the semis. Let's see if you can go out in a bang here.
Yeah, and you can just see there he's slipping off those grey pinches. Really, really greasy problems.
You can see it in his face as well. He's actually starting to ache, I think, now.
Yeah, and shaking out of the arms. Classic sign that there's a little bit too much pump going on. Needs to get some of the lactic acid out and regroup. Looking up at the time again, trying to evaluate, right, do I rest and have 1 good go, or do I try and have 2 little goes?
As Mina trying something different there as well. Just going to keep pushing here.
Gabri's making that dead point. Come on, Gabri, alley-oop. Nah, just going
Tricky.
wrong hand.
Now, is he wanting to go? Well, he wanted to then, but is he wanting to go with the left there, or is he wanting to go with the right?
Right hand over.
I thought that's what we'd seen before, the right hand coming over.
Little alley-oop.
He didn't want to let go by the look of things in the previous hold.
No. And Mina,
Unfortunately, with that 22 seconds left on the clock there, it's looking like Gabri's leaving it there, as is Jorg.
And Catalina Posch here, just struggling on this sideways move.
The thing is, I saw Katja's previous 2 or 3 jumps on that one as well. She's got the confidence and she's going for it. She just doesn't seem to be able to lock down the accuracy of it.
Yeah.
Catching it right. She is revving. She's really going for it.
Yeah, it could potentially be a conditions thing. Maybe the red volume's getting more greasy as the competition progresses, but yeah, I think that it looked awkward. The transition, she had her
she
feet
was turning her hips, and it was all just a bit strange.
She was stepping through with the feet in a slightly different way to the rest of the girls, which was causing a bit more of a bandol when she was stepping across. So probably the reason why she was struggling to hold it. But we've got another Innsbruck resident here, Melissa Leneve from France, coming out for her first boulder. Always a great climber to watch, very animated.
Had a nice long chat with her about flexibility and athleticism the other day. You can also find that one up on the IFSC's channel as well if you want to go and have a look at that after the comp's finished.
We've got Jerne Kruder. Obviously had a very disappointing time last week. Made it into finals, but then an issue coming through into the final. So he'll be looking to have another attempt today to get into the final. Been struggling with a shoulder injury by all accounts, but fantastic effort from him again yesterday, qualifying very, very high for this semi-final. There's Melissa, using the step across. Very, very steady from her. Just needs to press up on the feet. There she goes. Come on, Mel.
Ooh,
there it is.
She's got it. There it is.
Fantastic.
Very nice start from Melissa Leneve there. And also Marine Thevenet now. Teammate powering up towards the top of F2 here.
And Jerne's up. Really strong from him. Very, very good.
Nice finish there from Marine Thevenet. Let's see how Jerne gets on here as well on the top left-hand corner of your screen at the moment.
And we've got Doman Skoffic on M3, pressing it out, crimping that foothold with his right hand. It's a very, very small hold, securing the bonus. Now tricky move up to this slopey crimp, and then a final dead point move at the top. Here we go. Yeah, just slipping off it. It's a really, really bad hold. Got to get the body position right. Try and limit the momentum through the hips. Fanny Gibert, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, very strong through this section. Just missing the bonus hold. This certainly looks like one of the boulders I think you're going to have to do today to qualify. At the moment we've got, I think, quite a few competitors up on 3 climbs.
Just one girl was up on female boulder number 3 and no one of the girls reached the
So Kati Sauerwein here, taking a break on female 4. This is the one that's really challenging people. We've not had a top of this yet. Very, very powerful last move. I'm sure Alex Puccio, Shauna Coxey, Anna Straw will be looking forward to it when they get out, but at the moment we've...
Not long now either before we do see them start to emerge. Katja Sauerwein here on...
Oh, and Doman
F4.
crushing that move on M3. Just needs to get some momentum.
Watch that foot as well at the bottom there. If he goes over that black tape, he could get called for that. Oh, it looked like he almost was called for that.
Choosing to go for the top of that.
He has been called for that by the judge, just getting up to say, watch your foot there, the black tape.
What was interesting though was when he went for the last move, even though it would have been invalid, he went for the top of the volume instead of the blue hold. And Fanny Gibert here. Great effort from her.
Very good. Oh, very nearly. We did have a question on the Twitter a few moments ago. Have any of the women reached the top on F3 and F4? We've seen a top on F3.
We've seen F3, yeah.
I don't think we have on F4 though yet.
Not just yet, no. It's the final move. We saw Monica Recci getting very, very close on one of her attempts and just slipping off the volume with her foot. Obviously, this is the last climb for the girls, so power levels are starting to go down, and typically, route setters being very clever put a powerful block to finish, so really challenging them. And Kathleen Salvine there, finishing up her competition. No smiles for her, but I think she's put in a good turn today. Certainly seen her at the top of 2 climbs. And we got a new rotation. It's the homeboy, golden boy of Austrian climbing, Kilian
Verschuber out on M1, also Alex Puccio on F1.
Super competitive, both of these guys. Alex Puccio.
How do you think Kilian's going to get on with this one? It's a funky one. He's taller as well, so getting up into this starting position could be a little bit awkward for him to then go into the dyno. What do you think how's he going to deal with this?
It's hard to say. It's a very different start move. We've seen it done a number of different ways. We've seen it done statically, pulling on, holding the position and then jumping, and then we've seen people running into the wall and then sort of jumping off straight away. So I think Kilian, he'll just be evaluating the percentages, I think, whether the slower method is correct or not. But here we go. Plenty of time, wave to the crowd.
Yeah, there's the crowd giving him the rev start that he needs. A little bit of a kick.
Here we go, going for the run. Come on, Kilian.
So this is the height thing. Now we saw Rustam come out earlier and just sort of comfortably go and sit in that position because of his height. And with Kilian, this is where you see the disadvantage of your height, having to really lever himself into that one, and now being in a more awkward position to then go into the dyno, whereas some of the smaller athletes won't have that. But the other one is that if you were to reverse that, go over onto M3, which we can see Vadim Timonov on now at the moment, that a bit of extra height is actually giving some of the other athletes a bit of an advantage also. So it's nice to see that the blocks are covering all the different shapes and sizes that we've got here.
But quite interested now, bottom right corner of your screen, Julian Verne. Right at the top of it, female 4. We've not seen this topped yet, and this is certainly the one that's challenging all the girls.
The interesting thing was that Monica was her teammate from Germany was the other one that gave us the good run for the money. So maybe it's something in the German girls today. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, seems to be really challenging. Yeah, the problem reads as though you should go up with your left hand to the top, but Monica Recci going the closest so far, rolling over with the right hand. Kilian Verschuber here at the top of M1. I think he's had maybe 3 or 4 attempts, so certainly if he tops it now, putting himself in a relatively good position. I don't think we've seen any flashes of this problem. There it is. And Alex Puccio getting very frustrated on female 1 with the step across move on the slab. Everyone gives her a lot of hard time that she's maybe not the most technical climber, but she spends a lot of time training it, and I think it's a little unfair because she is very, very technical when she needs to be.
The problem there is she's leaving her other foot too low.
Yeah, so it's just
dragging her down because she's not committing to it too much.
Bit of body tension, so
not enough. Sorry. The other thing is that she has done work on slabs. I've spoken to her about slabs recently as well. But the thing is, Alex is having a bit of a strange year at the moment. She's let it get to her head recently of the fact that she's making finals, but that she's not doing well in finals. It's crept in there, and it is kind of destroying her confidence as a climber. You can see how serious she is. She's not really been smiley and jokey. Even when she's outside of the competition, it's definitely got in there. If you want to hear any more on how she's feeling at the moment about her position in the season so far, you can of course go and find that on the IFSC's channel, much like a lot of the other ones that we've been plugging this morning as well. There's a feature on there about a nice long interview with Alex about how she's feeling at the moment about the season on the whole.
Okay, yeah. Have to check that one out next time we can get some internet.
She's just not very happy at the moment, and her advice to anybody that is having any trouble when they're climbing or anything in life, it was quite a philosophical chat with her yesterday actually, which is weird because Alex usually just takes the mick out of whatever I'm wearing and then leaves. But yeah, no, she said you've got to be happy, and at the moment she's not.
Yeah, I think Alex is very much a confidence climber. You know, she needs a good run of results to keep her motivation. But the fact of the matter is, I think she's made pretty much every final this year, and that's an incredible feat in itself.
You got to take confidence from that alone, and she's, that's another thing that she actually said. You know, a lot of people are saying, yeah, but you're making finals, but it's what's enough for you. I think.
And
I think what's enough to say you personally. If making finals is I should be happy, then you're going to be fine. But if you want that medal or multiple medals, it doesn't matter how close you miss, you still miss.
I know last year she was not happy with her consistency in semi-finals in particular. You know, she was qualifying very, very well for semis, but then not transferring into finals. So, you know, she's got to take some heart that she's at least going through into the most finals.
There was a smile from her there, even though it's not a good start for her at this present moment.
I would say though the problems coming up will probably suit her more. We've got the very steep female 2, F3 slopey and steep, and F4 just very basic arete compression.
Let's have a brief look here quickly before we get on to our next athletes here. The top 6 that we have at the moment. Adamondra, Michael Picolores leading that pack with 4 tops in 8, both of them each, but the split on the bonus here with Adamondra placing in first, 4 bonuses in 5 attempts. Tito then in third, Jan Hoyer in 4th at the moment, Rustam in 5th, and Jorg in 6th. Let's have a brief look at the women's then. Look, it's Nanaka Mio here leading the pack, 3 tops in 8 at the moment. Kati Salvine with 2 tops in 2, Marin Thevenet 2 tops in 2 as well, tied in 2nd place with 2 flashes here for both those athletes. Yula Verm in 4th, Mocha Oda 5th, and Monica Recci in 6th. Those are our 6 finalists at the present moment in time. I think that is about to start updating. We've still got Yula moving across and putting in the performances as well, but great to see Nanaka Mio making it the top of the pile at the moment.
Yeah, and Vadim here on your screens looking... Oh, sorry, Rustam. Apologies. Yeah, Rustam just looking super strong there. This last move is going to be quite hard for him, being one of the shorter guys. But he's gone for the match. See if he can dead point now. Oh, super casual through there. Very, very strong. Climbing excellently. Ione, top of M2.
For a top as well here.
Happy with that.
And one of the chaps to watch out for as we start moving forward as well, Fuji Kokoro here out on M1. Surprised us all earlier on at the start of the year. Let's see how he gets on, whether we can make another final here.
Yeah, then we've got Andrea Ebner from Italy starting her competition on the left-hand side, just missing that foothold.
That might have hurt. That looked like that might have twinged the back of her leg there as she came down. She's okay.
Melissa Lenev, top right hand corner of the screen, campusing away, super strong climber. Oh, excellent campus through there. Most of the other competitors choosing to put a right foot on. As I said earlier, this is her home in Innsbruck. She'll be wanting to put on a good show. Keep it together, Mel. There we go.
Very nicely managed there at the end.
And Andrea coming up to the top of F1.
She's looking very chilled, isn't she, Melissa, today?
Looking chilled?
Yeah, there was a bit of a shake a minute ago when she was getting up towards the top of that one there, but looking pretty kind of relaxed at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. She's not been doing the whole season this year, so perhaps, you know, not feeling as stressed as she might ordinarily do. She's at home crowd, had a nice sleep. You know, she's probably really enjoying herself.
Thevenet here on F3.
Big disappointment of Andrea Ebner there on the first problem on the top left-hand corner of the screen. She just slipped off the final hold on her second attempt, so let's see if she keeps it together on this go.
I can't actually watch Andrea Ebner at the moment because every time she falls, I can just hear the cracked bones. They're not happening yet, but it just it's quite intense watching Andrea.
Yeah, we all have to have medicals at the start of the year now.
Standby, right, John?
Exactly. The guys
Quick
are here. I think one of the things though, now we all have to have a medical before the start of the season. They should probably do falling tests for all the female competitors to ensure that they can fall off properly.
When you say falling tests, are you just talking about like raising them in a crane and dropping them?
Maybe not as crude as that, but certainly getting to the top of the wall
and quite sadistic, really, isn't it?
Evaluating can you fall off from the wall safely. Seems like quite a few of the girls have a problem. Obviously these walls are slightly bigger for them compared to the guys who are a bit taller.
Again, she nearly went off the edge there. I'm really on edge watching her on this one. Of course, the master of falling down in dramatic ways is Guillaume.
Absolutely.
Got to come later on. I mean, he doesn't just fall down, he adds a bit of style onto it.
Yeah.
Backflips and such.
We haven't got many Chuck Norris guys here, where they don't fall, the ground moves up. And Fuji here, going for the top. Good effort from him. He's had a few tries on this, but he's got 8 seconds left. Come on, bit of momentum. 5. Oh, that is heartbreak. Unlucky for him. And here we go. Big hitters coming out. Micah Patrick, Shauna Coxey, fresh off the win in Grindelwald.
Let's see whether she can do it again, though. That's the test of it, isn't it? Because that was one of the things I was speaking to the German team about as well. Particularly, I think it was Udo I was speaking to at the time. I said, that Jan had the win last year and Udo had the win last year, and that had given them the confidence to move forward and get the next win, kind of thing. And the first thing Udo said was, no, it is not the first one, it is the second win that is important. And I thought about it for a while. I thought that's actually a very poignant thing there, because of course it is, because the first one could be a fluke. Obviously it wasn't with Shauna last week, or with any of them when they get the first one, but the second one is sort of like, it's almost like vindication. It's like saying, look, I can do it again.
Yeah.
Once you've done that, you know that you're a finalist and you're someone that's always going to have, for the moment, that shot at the gold.
But I think that's just an inherent human quality, isn't it? However well you do, you always want more. And I know I'm the same with that. Whenever I do well in a competition, you forget it so quickly. It's gone. That moment of validation is so transient, and you're looking for that next hit. I'd say all of us climbers here in the competition, we're all addicts, and we're looking for that fix. And Killian there,
just getting it,
crushing it on the top right-hand corner.
The crowd as well.
Sean McCall struggling with the start of this problem here. We talked about the height.
He's one of the shorter climbers, so So you'd think that he'd be able to be managing this one okay, but he has been ill recently, I know that, and he's kind of had an up and downy time. He didn't make the first 2 comps.
Shauna Coxey as well on a first slab problem here, struggling to get across. Normally an irrelevant on the technical stuff, not just all about the power. Shauna, she's a very, very good all-round climber, and that's obviously why she's being so consistent throughout the year. She did have a tough time here last year, not qualifying for the finals.
I've got it. I figured out the pun that we need for this.
Okay.
You said because she's an all-rounder. She's obviously one of the top 5. We're calling them the Avengers.
Yes.
Let's call them the Ascenders.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm going to write off to Stan Lee. We're going to get this stuff.
I think we should put it out to the audience. Hopefully Shauna's boyfriend Ned Feely is listening. He's the king of the pun. Ned the Baker, if you've got a suitable pun for us, send it in to us. #IFSCWC. Come on, Shauna, keep it together.
Interesting tactic there, and look, she's doing exactly what Alex is doing. There's something here about not wanting to get up onto the blue volume at the bottom of F1. What is this? Why do you think they're doing that?
It's the foot sequence, I think. Some of the girls have been getting up right into the corner, which gives them that height, and they're a bit higher on their feet. Oh, and Sean McCorn here finally.
Big swing there though from him.
Yeah, route climbing though. He'll have plenty in the tank, just needs to keep his cool.
And look how low he's had to put that knee bar as well because of his height. He wanted it to be higher, but then now he's coming out of it pretty early on as well.
Yeah.
Impressive to see him go straight up to the bonus though.
Yeah.
Which is what we saw from Rustam earlier. You said but Rustam ignored that side hole entirely, but
great concentration from him though.
He's looking really strong here now. Nice little switch there.
The smaller guys have been struggling with this last move, so Sean crushing it though. There, he knows he wants that. He's got a top to keep in the mix.
Not smiling though. That was I think aggression coming out of it. Some of those, like, yeah, you're damn right. I got you after all those Blooming attempts.
He's trying to pull that volume off so Dimitri doesn't have it.
That's what it is, yeah. I'm going to just ruin this for everyone else.
Shauna,
There's the left
as
foot
young
up.
as Shauna is now,
There's the lean out. Now get that other foot up.
she's got to remember, try something different.
Oh,
there we go.
That was something different, so here we go.
So looking at the
This
scores
could be
though,
very damaging for her if she doesn't get this one in straight away.
well, if she doesn't get this one, she's going to have to do it the hard way and do the final 3 boulders, which, looking at the scores now, 3 in quick succession will still be okay.
3 and 8 was Nordkette earlier on. But we've got some big names still to come. That was interesting as well.
25 seconds. She's deciding not to have another go. So this is where the real difficulty comes in. She'll have known how many people will have topped that boulder, and now going back into isolation. This is where the experience, you know, she's been here before. She'll just have to refocus, come out strong for the next one. And here we've got it, Gigi and Akio Noguchi coming towards the end of our semi-finalists now. I think we've got one more pair after this, Anna and Dimitri.
Yeah. Which is the 2 separate groups that we had yesterday. So actually this is the first time that Akio and Anna and Guillaume and Dimitri, and in fact half of all these athletes have actually been matched up on the same block of this competition, because they're obviously the 2 groups to start things off.
Exactly.
Guillaume actually managed the better run, if you want to look at it separately. The Dimitri, because Dimitri had many more attempts.
He had to work harder for it.
Yeah, he did. Guillaume was looking very strong. I'm just looking forward to seeing some crazy flips from Guillaume as we go through the rest of this
It's the dismount. I think as commentators we should probably have, you know, numbers that we can hold up for the dismount, grade them.
Yeah, okay, we'll give it a ranking every time.
People always ask me, you know, how do you score climbing? And I think, you know, maybe the dismounts is something that we could do, some independent scoring.
Like add it into the rules.
This could be the first flash on this boulder.
That was a very, very nice transition into that move. Yes, it was. Straight away, up into the dyno, catching it. Here's the knee bar.
But choosing to go out right instead of up and left. Akio, see if she can refine the right foot sequence.
Wants to edge that foot closer in.
Yeah.
That back right leg.
Here we go. Lining it up. Yeah. These girls coming out later, you know,
she's got to get the left foot to land on the next blue block, and what she did is she sent the right forward, which jars your hips and sends you away from the wall on something like slam. So she's got to keep her eyes on that one.
Akio just falling short on the slab on the left hand side. Guillaume straight up again on his second go, looking nice and casual
this time as well.
Melissa and Nev, bottom left hand corner of your screen, trying to figure out what to do.
That's better from Akio, and there you go, the left foot landed on it first, keeping the hips into the wall, and then she catches it.
And Rustam in the bottom right hand corner of your screen has been going through this competition very, very quickly. A quick top here would put him in great shape for the final. Yene milking the crowd on the 3rd boulder. Real favourite with everybody here.
Top for Akio as well.
Now you can see Melissa in their bottom left hand corner of your screen really struggling with these holds. Very, very slopey. Probably had about 15 women on it ahead of her, so they're not going to be great conditions. But
this first move up, you mean on F3, yeah?
Yeah. Yene here going for it. So it looks like for the guys you're going to need all 4 problems to qualify. There he goes. And top for Yene. He's pretty psyched. Always an intense competitor.
He's a very intense man.
And just for the record, probably normally always wins the isolation comp as well. Super intense guy.
Whatever works. That definitely
Absolutely,
worked.
that worked
from the crowd.
And Rustam here going again, crimping that sloper and just dry firing off it. Not long now, minute and 10 left. we were talking about like different strategies. Melissa Lenev here has been trying the same move, same methodology for 3 minutes now. So
is there much that you can do different though on that first move from the start holds up onto that slope?
well, we've seen some of the girls try and go left hand first instead of the right, which Melissa's been doing. Puts you in slightly better position for the next move, but my eyes are on Rustam now, bottom right hand corner of your screen. Really needs this top to stay in the comp. Maybe it's a height thing, it's quite a wide move. Very, very bad slopey holds. If there were 2 crimps, then he'd be in his element, but got to get through this now. Oh, just can't quite keep the tension when he's out wide like that.
Do you think that might be an ape thing from Rustam?
Ape index?
Yeah, because it's that's for him being a little bit shorter. That's going to be a big move.
It is an issue.
And it was the final move is as well as the move when you're sitting in the bonus stretch. Getting that comfortable before the big push up is just tricky.
Yeah. So we've got Killian Fischuber back out on M3. 2 tops for him so far. And the main events now, we got homegirl Anna Sturr and Dmitry Sharafutinov. They're not bad at climbing.
Well,
they're probably above average.
Yeah,
probably. Anna ditching the headband from yesterday and choosing to put the braids in.
That's just an extra bit of rope in case she needs to just take it off.
Maybe she'll hook it onto a hold. Good knowledge.
Well, we saw Shauna with the head jam last week, so maybe that's
no holds barred.
You're going to see a chalk up on the head in a minute, Anna.
And Shauna was just straight through that second boulder here on the top right hand corner of your screen. Really strong for her. She's going to need basically these last 3 boulders very, very quickly to stand a chance.
Alex.
As does Alex.
Yeah.
Come on, Shauna, keep it together. Here we go. Yeah, super strong. And Anna Sturr, looking at Alex and Anna at the same time, but she's straight up there, and we got a top. That'll settle the nerves.
Start there from Anna Sturr.
And Alex Puccio again, really struggling on this 3rd boulder. The conditions must be quite difficult now.
Top from Sean McCall there as well, also in the top right hand corner of your screen at the moment. Nice one for him. And here we see Alex, a little bit more in her element there, but just losing the foothold by the look of things.
If there's anyone that can squeeze holds into submission,
this
it's
might
Alex
actually
Puccio.
be to her liking,
Killian Fischuber as well, really steady through this section. Hard little jump move now to a slopey crimp.
Dmitry still fighting away here as well.
There we go.
Took a massive run up to it a moment ago. Killian, big move to the top.
Yeah.
Yep, and there it is. Managing to secure that as well. Huge support from the crowd for him as Alex makes another attempt here. She's got the pinch, she's matching, she's over onto the Jiu-Jitsu hold now. And it's how to get round from there that she's got to figure out up onto the bonus now. I want to see the shot of Dmitry doing this run up again in a minute, because it was kind of like rev up. No, a little bit better this time. He started right on the edge of the mat last time. It was like you could just see his legs whirring around.
That was amazing. He didn't even hold the opposing Gastons like everyone else. Just left hand onto the volume and then basically one-armed it. Here we go. He's got to keep it together now. Needs to turn that left hand to an undercut, really. Oh, that is incredible.
If you remember, this is the place that last year Dmitry did the 1-finger pull-up in the bolt holds. Do you remember that from last year?
I've still got the video still up on the wall at home. Yeah, that was awesome for Dmitry. We had quite a few guys attempt to go left hand again, and you can see him walking away there with the number 1 on his vest.
That's an earned number.
Yeah, that is earned. Certainly the most consistent competitor we've had in the last couple of years in the men's. Shorty Taupon, right hand side of your screen, struggling on those slopey pinches. Adam Undra, who was out first in the competition by himself today, really set the benchmark for the guys.
As did Michael Pogolaras as well.
Absolutely.
Really good performance from him.
Yep. It looks like he's probably going to qualify for the finals.
At the moment, yeah, definitely. The other thing is that no, they are split. They're split on bonuses, so that's another good thing as well. Because I was going to say, as they are matched, we could end up with 7, but they're not. They actually have a difference in the attempts on bonuses, which splits them. So if it did go to that, Adam would definitely make it, whereas Michael would be out.
Okay. Alex Puccio here really needs a top on this one. Getting very frustrated.
And let's just have a look at Katharina Posch here for a moment. The top of F4.
Good positioning.
Could we see a first one here? Oh, I don't know what.
That is just
it didn't even look like she got the hand there, but it didn't look like she actually tried to grip. She just sort of patted it on the head and then just fell off.
As we say, don't touch it up, knock it out. That's a boxing metaphor.
I like that one.
Yeah.
And now with 15 seconds left on the clock, Katja down on the mat again here. Not good. And Alex again, not good for Alex.
Yeah, let's hope nobody at home can lip read on the close-ups for Alex Puccio there. Very unhappy with that boulder. So we've got all the competitors through now. Dimitri and Anashtur are the last competitors. So we're going to get very close to knowing the overall
Start to
scores.
break our wall down now. Start to break it down. We're on to just 3 blocks being used at the moment.
Jene Kruder, bottom right corner of your screen on his last boulder. Oh, that's an attempt, isn't it?
Kyo just having a look. Figuring out how she's going to start attacking this one here. Jene doing the same. Big difference, isn't it, towards the athletes that are last out and the ones that start off with the way that they start. I say this all the time, and I still see people come out and just jump straight on the wall in the semis, and people that aren't used to being in finals, same thing. But the more experienced athletes always do this. Look, there's the first minute gone, and Guillaume hasn't even really touched the wall yet.
Yeah.
He's just got on, and now everyone else starts to move on as well. You saw it from pretty much all of our athletes there. Melissa was doing the same thing. Jene did the same thing.
Jene, interestingly though, actually touched a hold that wasn't one of the starting holds, so straight away using up an attempt there. That's not allowed. You have to only hold the holds which are the starting holds. Anything else above that, if you hold it from the ground, that's classed as an attempt. So
it can be quite controversial.
Could come back.
Jene. We saw him, like last week in Grindelwald. It was really unfortunate because he was so strong. He was leading the pack. He was the highest to qualify into the finals. And he missed the isolation by 6 minutes, which meant that he was just out. That's the rules.
Yeah.
If you don't make it, you're not out. And also, there's some people getting in touch here on Twitter as well, saying poor Jene flash didn't count due to touching the right wall, M3. Now I missed that.
Yeah.
But he apparently touched one of the walls that was out of bounds with the tape, which is, I think, it's the same situation that
Doman
got pulled up on earlier, wasn't it? His bottom leg moving over and across.
Yeah, and
it's a tricky one.
Melissa.
Mel nearly making a top there. Come on, we have to see a top on F4.
Yeah, Jene though stepped right back on, showed good composure there, and topped M3 straight afterwards. So that's really good composure from him. Great tunes from the DJ, some 80s rock.
I love 80s music.
Yeah. So we've got a big Cypriot contingent watching online today. Hello to Victoria and family.
This is interesting here. I think we could be about to split up the Ascenders after just forming them, because at the moment with Alex doing as she's been doing at this competition, Shauna dropping that first block. It's risky at the moment. At the moment, it is still Nanaka that's leading the pack with Thevenet in second, Sarvine in tied second with her as well. The Nev now in fourth. But Cox is currently in seventh. She's really got to step up here to try and...
Well, we'll certainly see Anna and Akio come through that list shortly, because they both topped...
it's whether they're all whether our Ascenders are going to make the final. Otherwise,
the Ascenders generally overcome all things that...
They defended New York the other year.
They might lose the battle, but they will inevitably win the war.
And if they can't, they'll avenge it. No, that's wrong.
Melissa back on, looking super strong on bottom right corner of your screen. Crushing this steep boulder. She just dropped off the last hold on her last attempt, so See how she gets on this time.
Revving up, the crowd behind her. Really tough here to get up to it. Impressive to see that she's still got the endurance to go for this again now with as much gusto as the first attempt.
Here we go. Yes!
And that's it by the look of things. There we are. It can be done. F4 managed by Melissa Lenere of France.
So she'll qualify now.
Very nice.
I would think that would put her in. Did she do all the other 3 boulders? No, she didn't do 3.
I don't know. I'm just watching her skip and dance at the moment. Sorry, I was distracted. She actually did a little spin for us there. Show us what she was wearing.
There's Yone just slipping off that move.
I believe. I'm not sure she made F3.
F3, I don't think she did, but might come to number of
I still think it's going to be enough to potentially see it through.
She did the first 2, so she should be okay. 3 tops.
I'll wait for a moment to see what the results say when they're updated. Yone still fighting away here. He's definitely got the strength for this, and he's got the reach as well, the ape index for it, but
that's enough for him.
Unfortunately, no, with those last seconds ticking away, no top for Yone there either. So when are we going to see this guy? I want to see him pushing forward into the finals again. He's a beast, and as Ramon says about him as well, he's the king of qualifications. He always does well in the qualifications when the pressure isn't there and he can relax.
I'm certainly paying attention now. Shauna Coxey on a 3rd boulder problem. Unfortunately, just not topping out on the first slab, so she really needs to top this quickly.
Alex making her last block of the day then, but it's looking like Alex is possibly going to be out now of the finals. Hannah Storr in the top left-hand corner for you, and Dmitry Sharafudinov in the top right.
Kilian Fischuber about to step off as well. Some real big hitters. Super strong from Anna, just campusing away through this section.
Great, very nice from Anna. I mean, it just looks like walking on the ground, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's vertically walking on the ground with Anna. That's all it is.
When it works really well. Alex Puccio here. Can she finish off in style? Possibly needs to get the right hand a bit higher. Here we go. Come on, Alex.
She's got quite a big ape index though. Alex has. So gets the hand to it. I think it's a +5 her ape index.
+5.
I know that somebody had a +7 recently. I was talking to. That could be her as well. She's got quite an improved ape index.
Sean McCall climbing really well on this 3rd boulder, and Kilian Fischuber here has just absolutely destroyed this semi-final.
Very
Four
nice.
tops there.
And Sean, dual top, same time. There we are. So I think, are we just left with, it's just Alex and Shauna now, already.
Shauna's up though. She's just got to keep the tension now. Come on, Shauna.
Got the right hand on.
Well held. Come on.
And just
keep it together now.
Bonus then.
Last move. Stay tight, Shauna. Come on.
Got that foot into the dish, and there it is. F3 in the bag. Shauna Coxey.
One more left. She needs it. You can see there she's angry in the face.
Angry in the face. I like it. We're going to keep that one.
So Alex Puccio all by herself now. Last boulder. Looking at the scoreboard, even if she tops this, I think it's going to be too far for her to get in the final.
Okay, Alex gearing up for another one. She's had a nice big rest there. She was looking pretty pumped after that first attempt.
Super strong. Got to get as high as she can up that right hand arete now. Make this last move slightly easier. Left foot on. Come on, Alex. Go for it.
If she makes this, it'll be a little bit more self-affirming because so few of them have. Despite having the trouble on all the other ones.
Trouble also with topping the hardest boulder but not doing some of the easy ones does make it a bit more annoying as well.
I suppose it does, yes, but at the same time, to not top any of them and be of her caliber of athlete, I think that would, personally for me, that would affect me more.
There you go, just take some time.
1 minute 20, she's got to, just try and
can see
hype up and go for it again.
Skin on the fingers there.
Yep.
Very, very greasy. She's She's going to run the clock down now. She knows really she's only got one more good go on this boulder.
Blowing on her hands there, trying to cool them down a little bit.
So you can see there the setup, the two sides of the wall, left and right, with the scoreboard in between. Massive crowd here in Innsbruck. I think for the first time this weekend the sun's made an appearance.
50 seconds left on the clock. It's looking like one final attempt here for Alex Puccio, and a chance to at least go out with a bang if she is going out.
Absolutely crushing those crimps.
Crowd really getting behind her here as well. They want to see a top here. They want to show the support.
27 seconds
Fantastic
left.
all day today. We've got a rhythmic clap going on here. If she needs a bit of emphasis, here it is.
Come on, Alex. That was nice and high with the right hand there. Straight off. Left foot on. Go get it. Come on, Alex. Strikes to the crowd. Not today.
That's a really unfortunate finish there for Alex. She's not going to be happy with that at all.
Little throw
Doesn't
of the
like
chalk
her
bag.
hands. Here we are then with the lineup at the moment. Just before we get started, Michael Picolreas again still sitting up there in second place. Rustam Galmanov in third. Adam, of course, leading the pack still. Only just though next to Michael. And then you've got Joni Kruder here in fourth place at the moment. This could be good for him. Tito in fifth and Killian tied fifth as well. Jan out, unfortunately, of the finals. Melissa Loneve with three tops in five. Nonaka Mio in second still. Marine Thevenet, a second final of the season for her. Akio Noguchi, who's about to climb here. Katja Sarwein and Anna Storr all tied in fourth place at the current moment with 2 flashes apiece. Let's go and see how they're going to finish up here. Starting off with Akio Noguchi and Guillaume. This is one of the ones that we could see some crazy backflips from Guillaume if he comes down. It's what I'm looking forward to the most.
The dismounts. Yep, so here goes Akio. Going for the double 1-2 method there. With the way we've seen success on this is to do it much more controlled, really squeeze that slope you can just see at the top of your screen and match it. Guillaume to the right, pressing up through the volume. He's climbed really well so far today. Oh, great effort there.
Very nice. Fuji Kokoro.
Yep, finishing up strong.
Heuer schon 6. gewesen in Baku, 14. in Chongqing. Die Titelwahl letztes Wochenende. Nicht allein ins Viertelfinale gekommen und
Nice movement here from Guillaume. That's how he's going to get up onto the next move. Up with the right, big push here now.
Give it the alley-oop. Oh, well,
Makes it very nice. I believe that was a flash for him there on M3.
Very well held by him. And Akio here, slow and steady, figured out the method. Needs to keep it together. Yeah, it's just very, very slopey pinches. Even the volume's not positive. Coming right towards the end of the competition now. This is Akio, who is second to last out on her third climb, so we'll start to get a good idea for results.
Frequent second place competitor all the way through previous years, right behind Anna Storr. Very, very top of the pile, cream of the crop in terms of ability. Very, very good on dynamic moves as well. And here she goes again, 2 minutes and 17 seconds left on the clock.
Great shot of Akio here. Doesn't show how steep it is. You can see there a bit better the kick.
And straight up into the
Good
pinch for the
contact
bonus
strength.
now. That was nice. Don't spend so much time around the Jiu-Jitsu there. Get up and get your foot into it as soon as possible. Good move from her there. Still good movement. Big pop coming up here. Up with the right. That was interesting. I'm going to
Good
keep my hand on the bonus there.
That puts her into finals. 3 tops with still 1 boulder to spare. Andrew Ebner here, struggling with the sideways traverse on
I've just got nervous again, John.
You have?
Yeah.
Regarding?
With all the falls off the wall. She hasn't been through the training that you suggested.
This is true.
And here you can see the popularity of the sport and this event year in, year out, the 10th year of what is known as the Blockmaster here in Innsbruck, but also our IFSC World Cup. Huge crowd gathered here in the square. Show their support. Do you see? It just makes me nervous. Crazy falls.
I think this falling practice is probably going to be good. She just seems to be pinging off that left-hand crimp. Must be getting quite greasy. Absolutely packed crowd. I'm sure there'll be even more people here for the finals later.
Great to see so many people gathering. And this is only the semis.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great show later.
Hopefully you guys can come back and join us as well online. Looking forward to seeing you later on tonight. Now the finals themselves, the actual climbing is due to start at 7:30 local time to us here at the venue.
So here we go. This is the one to watch. Shauna Coxey really needs to top this quickly to stand a chance of qualifying for the finals. We've seen one top of the boulder so far today, Melissa Leneve from France. Lives here in Innsbruck. She completed it, but I'm sure this is a good boulder for Shauna to finish on. She's super, super strong.
Sorry, correction on that one. Our actual climbing itself starts here at 8. The presentation is due to start at 7:30. That is local time to us here in Innsbruck. Another thing to bear in mind.
So here we got probably 4 of the best climbers in the world at the moment on your screen. Anna Stur, Dmitry Sharfutinov, Shauna Coxey and Sean McCall. Pretty average.
Pretty average.
Pretty average.
Yeah, not bad.
Come on, Shauna. Looking super strong up this section.
Ooh, starting to move up with the left hand then. The right was way too low for it.
She knows she's got to get her feet up.
There you are, keep inching that right hand up the arete.
Right foot, Shauna, right foot. Come on. She's just not seeing it. Might not need it. Dimitri just
chilling out.
Cruising. Gin and tonic for Dimitri halfway up. Looking so strong.
And there it is.
Interesting to see the 2 Russians adopt that method of matching and then going up with the left hand.
The left, yeah. Did Rustam make that?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Yeah. Anna not enjoying those slopey volumes.
See you, Dima. Thanks for coming.
My work here is done. Well, you got one more actually, Dimitri, but yeah, looking pretty steady for a place in the finals today.
F3's been a really tricky block for all of these athletes, even the big names. Anna here now having a bit of a tough time with things. Crowd really starting to get behind her, give her some support. Shauna got to gear up for another attempt on this one. If she starts about now, she could possibly get an extra one in as well after she finishes it, but she can't waste that much time down here on the mat.
Sean McCall starting up on M4 as well.
Now this is going to be a problem for him because of his height and his ape index are going to be anti-factors.
Got to transfer through here quickly. There we go, come on Sean. Nice and strong on the feet. Oh, just double take on the right hand, not quite hitting it.
Coming up to 2 minutes left on the clock. Got to see some movement now from Shauna if she wants to try and make it into this final.
Yeah, I think she'll give it everything on this go. She was so close on the last go, but just took the wrong option on the final move. Anna Stur sticking the first difficult move as well there. Come on, Shauna.
Okay, now the hand gets up. She knows it.
There's
the foothold.
Come on.
There's the height. Oh, can't quite lock on the final move. Smiles. Smiles are good. Take 5, get up there and do it again. 1 minute and 27 seconds left on the clock. Anna Storr still down on the ground, struggling with that first transition into that slopey hold there on F3. Shauna very nearly with the top there a few moments ago. And Sean just sort of sitting out on the mat, just sort of.
So Anna actually only has 2 tops at the moment. If she doesn't do this, it could put things into the mix as well. I'm sure she'll still be okay, but
She's in
certainly
tied 5th at the moment with Katja.
Yeah. So certainly won't put her at the top if she doesn't do it. Here goes Shauna. 50 seconds left. Last
Which means
attempt.
actually that if Anna doesn't manage to make this and she's tied with Katja, and Shauna tops this, we could actually have a 7-women final because we can't do a countback.
Here we go. Come on, Shauna. Get that right hand up a bit. Yes!
There it
Come
is.
on. Yes!
Very nicely done.
Squeezes into the
So
final
that is
there.
Shauna now moving into the finals here with 3 tops, but currently in tied 5th, which is now going to drop to tied 6th place, is Anna Storr and Katja Sarvine. Now, Anna has 2 more climbs, and the likelihood of her not managing the 4th as well, very slim.
Sean McCall really frustrated on that last boulder. Doesn't really know what he should have done, but maybe just a conditions thing. Definitely had the right knowledge.
And he's in 7th, just missing out on a spot in the finals, unfortunately, here. So Sean is out as well. Interesting semi-final round here, especially to see we're losing Jan, our last year gold medalist, and I believe Euler as well, out. So our double German gold is now not happening.
Wow.
And that's also going to be a big factor as well of the world rankings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Particularly his race with
Dimitri.
Dimitri.
That's going to give Dimitri a real head start in the overall.
Well, Dimitri is going to be through and then some, I think, after this one. Because at the moment it's Killian, I believe, in first place with 4 tops in 7. Which is just pushed...
Gigi here, I think, is on 3 flashes at the moment, or something very, very quick. He flashed the first.
No, the first was second attempt.
Was it?
Because we thought that would be the first flash and he just missed out on it.
Okay.
Let's wait and see, but he's definitely doing pretty darn well.
Here's Akio, looking very casual through this steep wall. We're seeing the very, very best in the world here right now. Just see how he gets on in this flick move, and
Is she going to
Akio
spot
just
the other foothold though?
excellent from Gigi.
Yes, she is. No, taking it back there. Now back up again. Gigi straight up to the very top. Guillaume.
Super Gigi, that's the final.
And Akio, a hand on the final hold on the first attempt there. Again, just not quite managing to lock it down. Plenty of time to play with though. No stress here for her. Especially after reading the beater so well on the first attempt. She's got it locked down. She knows what she's got to do. It's just a matter of replicating it now and not overexerting herself.
Yep, absolutely. Just chilling out a little bit, get some shakes, recover. Out by herself now, so we've only got 2 competitors left after this.
Dimitri is currently 3 tops in 7, which is at the moment keeping him in 11th place.
So he needs to top.
By the look of things, yes.
What's that, 3 tops in
7 for Dimitri.
So I'd be pretty
And
confident.
to make finals at present, actually it's showing that McCall actually is in finals at the moment with 3 tops in 6 and a bonus on the last one.
Okay.
And he's tied with Yannick Kruder in tied 6th.
So we can pretty much say Dimitri will probably do this last boulder, I would imagine.
Wait and see how it comes out. Akio taking some time here, 2 minutes left on the clock to work with. So she's run that down for another minute before a second attempt. This is the other interesting thing to think about these, the highest caliber of athletes that we have here. They often, whether they're stressed inside, I can't tell, but they tend to really know how to utilize their time.
Yeah.
Let's just chill for a minute. I'll go and do it again in a second. Run the clock down.
She got so close on her first go, so she knows her method is correct, and now it's a matter of executing it on this next go.
Well, Noguchi is already in first.
Dimitri?
No, Akio.
Akio, yeah.
At the moment.
Here we go. There it is.
Super
Very,
strong.
very nice.
It would be fantastic to see the first gold medal from her for a while.
Yeah, she's climbing super strong today. 4 tops for her, I believe.
Yeah, 4 tops in 7, which matches our current first place in the men's. 4 tops in 7 from Kilian Fischuber.
So we just got Dimitri and Anna Sturr left to come out. A few seconds more rest. 45 to go. So there we have the results.
So here are the results at the moment as they're standing. Kilian Fischuber currently at the top of the pile there with 4 tops in 7, 4 bonuses in 7. Admondra there in second, 4 tops in 8, 4 tops in 5, right from the very bottom of the pile up to the very top, which is what we were expecting. In third place, Michael Pacolraz of Italy in 4 tops in 8, 4 bonuses in 7. Guillaume Claremondet in 4, 3 tops in 4, 3 bonuses in 4. Rustam Gamanov in 5th, 3 tops in 5, 4 bonuses in 6. And Yone Kruder and Sean McCall tied in 6th place with 3 in 6 and 4 in 7, meaning that we are possibly, at the look of things at the moment, possibly about to see a 7-man final. But I do believe they might be knocked out in a moment by Dimitri. Akio Noguchi at the top of the pile for the women's, 3 tops in 5, 4 bonuses in 6. Melissa Leneve in second, 3 tops in 5, 3 bonuses in 4. Shauna Coxey in third, 3 tops in 7, 3 bonuses in 5. Nonaka Mio in fourth, 3 in 8, 4 in 12. Marine Thevenet in 5th, 2 in 2 and 3 bonuses in 3. And then 2 tied 6th at the moment, Anna Sturr and Katja Sauerwein. Depending on how both of these 2 athletes do in their final block here, we could end up with a 7.
Yeah.
Which is always exciting, I think. We had a 5 the other week, I want a 7 this time. Let's make up that last climber.
Keep it interesting, you know, mix it up. So, Dimitri now really needs a top to get into this final. Anna Sturr already qualified, it's just whether she knocks out anybody else from the final. Of course, you've got to remember these guys don't know the scores, so all they know is that they got a top. Dimitri.
I'm going to just ignore the beater on this one. I'm going up with the right first.
Just go direct. I'll miss
just
out
doing
all
it
those
my
other
way.
holds. Yeah. So what?
Those sloper holds actually are very similar to the one that he got his finger in the ball hole last year. Maybe we're going to see a repeat performance.
Here goes Anna. She just needs
Low
to get
leg.
that right foot up.
I thought she was going to make. I was going to say unreal. I couldn't believe that.
That was the same
That was very impressive.
option. Was it Katarina Posch used? No, Monica Recci. Monica Recci used that.
That was the toe hook, wasn't it? She tried to
going
get the toe
up with
hook
the
on
right hand
side.
to the finishing hold.
But that wasn't even with the toe hook. That was I'm just going to put all my weight on my left leg and stand up.
Just use my guns, I guess. Use the biceps. Here goes Dimitri again. Yep, that's right.
And here we go over to the left.
Use all the
now.
holds. That's a novelty. Super strong from Dimitri.
Straight into the right position.
Dead
Accuracy
point.
on that one as well. Lands it. And there it is. Second attempt. Dima straight through.
Yeah, he's happy with that.
I believe that's 4 in
Good fist pump.
9.
from
I think that's 4 in
Dimitri.
9.
Very seldom see that level of emotion from him. So yeah, he's pretty happy with his work.
Yeah, he had 3 in 7 before, and that was his second attempt on that one. So I think that's 4 in 9 for him. But it puts him through.
Third, something like that. Adam and a fourth.
Quite low, I think.
Yeah.
Adam
Kilian
and Michael.
4 and 7. Michael and Adam 4 and 8. Yeah. But that does push Sean and Yone out of the final now.
Yes.
Yeah. So Anna
And we're
Sturr.
about to see the same or different thing happen here with Anna.
Yeah.
The fact that we've got 2 tied 6th place positions at the moment, depending on how Anna gets on with this one. So let's have a look. About to gear up for another attempt. Is she going to try something different at the top, or are we going to go for the same thing again?
I know Katarina Sauerwein would be sitting in the wings hoping that
It's looking like the lineup for the finals has already changed here due to the fact that Anna has the bonus here on this one, putting her in tied 5th place at the moment. So Anna is already in, unbeknownst to her at this point.
just having a look at the clock, minute 40, re-evaluating things.
And comeback has been quite important recently in the finals as well, so that's another thing that she's got to bear in mind. You know, she's going to want to complete them all regardless, even if somebody to say or shout up, now you're in.
So this is Anna's hometown, Innsbruck. She doesn't know any of the scores, doesn't know definitively what everybody else has done. She'll have had an idea, having heard the crowd, but all she'll be focusing on now is ensuring that she gets to top.
Here we go again then, up with the left.
You can see how steep the wall is. Final climb for her.
Got that wide pinch on the side, switching to the arete now.
Here we go.
Up with the left. She's going to do the same thing again.
Yeah. There it is.
Unbelievable. Completely ridiculous way of making a top there.
Fantastic.
Bizarre, but there it is.
I'll just do it the hard way. Why not?
Actually made it look easier. I don't know how that's possible. I think it looked like a more
body position,
a better, a solid catch on the final hold on that one. Going up with the left seemed we saw it time and time again. These guys were going over to the left hand side, making a big move and putting a hand on top of it there, and then just coming straight down without even getting any purchase on it.
Exactly.
This way, this sort of like lean over in this way that she was kind of doing. It sort of, maybe it was gravity or something, but it was actually thocking her onto the top position.
Just the right body position, sort of keeping the centre of gravity underneath the hold as opposed to being very, very stretched out.
That was very, very interesting. So there it is. There we are, guys. That was Anna making it through into the finals. Not that she wasn't already in after making the bonus on the last one there as well. Very interesting lineup of things in the semis there. Some guys we're not used to seeing in the finals. The ascenders have been broken at this point as well. We're losing Alex Puccio. Let's have a look at who is making it through then, and who we're expecting to see in our finals later on tonight. Do hope you can come back and tune in for that one as well. So here it is then in the men's. Kilian Fischuber at the top there with 4 tops in 7, 4 bonuses in 7. Adam Ondra in second. Oh, I do believe these haven't been updated yet, so
still waiting for Dimitri.
Bear with us a moment, because we know that Dimitri will be making it through as well. I can tell you that the lineup at the moment is Guillaume in first place with 4 tops in 5 attempts. That's incredible. Fischuber in second, Ondra in third. So as the crowd sort of starts to mill around, we'll be coming back to that in a few seconds and giving you it, hopefully with the updated results after that last set of blocks for you as well. Just to recap some of the highlights from that then, John?
I think I really enjoyed watching Shauna Coxey come through there. She obviously failed on the first boulder, and it seemed like that was going to be the key one to get you into the final, but she just held her nerve and pushed all the way through on the final 3.
She kept the nerves there towards the end, and the fact that we weren't sure she was going to make that final block. That's
absolutely
put a lot of pressure on people back home, I'm sure it did.
And for me in the men's, I think Kilian was just fantastic during that.
Very,
really,
very
really good.
But then the other thing I think, and it's been a bit of one that we've sort of missed at this stage, but Guillaume has done some incredible stuff.
Yep, fantastic show from everybody. We'll try again now with the scores, I think.
Yeah, Guillaume has been one for us that's he's just been sort of, we haven't really noticed that much. I mean, at the very end there he said, I think he's got flashes, hasn't he? But then to go through in 4 tops in 5 is very, very impressive.
Very
and
strong.
That's going to be very much in his favour when he comes up against Kilian in the final later on. If he can match, he can win. Fischuber with 4 tops in 7, Ondra 4 tops in 8, as did Pokoroaz. Here they are then, 3rd and 4th, Adam Ondra and Michael Pokoroaz. You can see the lineup here. 5th place, Dmitry Sharafutinov, and 6th, Rustam Gelmanov making it through. 3 tops in 5, 4 in 6. So he's made it through there on an extra same amount of bonuses, but 1 less attempt to Yone Kruder, which must be devastating for him at this stage. The fact that Rustam's done that just by getting a bonus 1 attempt prior. But those are your 6 male finalists then. So Guillaume Garamonde, Kilian Fischuber, Adam Ondra in 3rd, Michael Pokoroaz in 4th, Dmitry Sharafutinov in 5th, and Rustam Gelmanov in 6th. Those are our 6 competitors in the men's. Over to the women's then, Akio Noguchi here at the top of the pile. This is great to see. The only athlete to have made all 4 of the blocks here. Akio Noguchi ahead of Anna Stor, which is unusual to see. Anna Storr in second, then with 3 tops in 5, 3 bonuses in 3. Melissa De Neve in third, 3 tops in 5, 3 bonuses in 4. Shauna Cox in 4, 3 in 7, 3 in 5. Nonaka Mio in 5th, great to see that here as well. 3 tops in 8, 4 bonuses in 12. She just missed a final just recently, came 8th, and here she is, she's made her final now as well, as did Marine Thevenet as well. She made the first final and then just missed out on a second one by coming 7th just recently, but she's back in now the top 6 again. But look at who hasn't made it. Now that's the really interesting thing here. Katja, Yula, Alex and Momoka Oda there as well in 10th place, and there are many more names further on down that list that we'd expect to see making it into finals that haven't this time around. It's a nice mix-up in both the men's and the women's here. We're going to see some surprise athletes cutting through. It's looking like it's going to be an exciting one. Well guys, thank you very much for being with us. All that remains for me to do is to thank Mr. Jonathan Partridge for being with us. Did you enjoy, John?
Absolutely, yeah, fantastic semi-final. Looks like we're going to have a good round-up for the final later.
You going to come back?
For sure.
Nice one. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much for being with us, guys. We will see you later on this evening for the finals here in Innsbruck. See you soon.
Public Viewing genießen. Wer sich dort einfinden will, man kommt.